Konnichiwa, ghosts and goblins. It is I, your host with the ghost, Diley Bowen, with another spooky Halloween episode. So hold on to your heads as we investigate the scary history of horror cinema. It's going to be a scream. Say hell to our co-host, Count Patula Wall. And today's spooky guest, he's so scary we couldn't come up with a pun for his name, Jade Meadows. So put on a grave face and pre-scare to be scared. That's it. That's what we got.
Fucking perfect.
Welcome back, everybody, to Delete Everything Podcast, our creepy camp, lakeside camp in the woods, where we are slashing your brains out of your skull so that we can pop in all the deleted, omitted, forgotten facts, and then we're gonna do a different horror movie where we put it back in and then we sew you together and then we make you go do things.
That's good. I mean, those are two references to, I believe we're going to do, was that Friday the 13th to start? And then the second reference, I'm going to say, is that Brain Dead?
Maybe.
With Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton?
I don't know. But I'm your host, Patrick Wall. With me, as always, is my I don't know, my little Igor.
Yeah, that's what it works. I'll do that. Yeah.
Do you want to say your name or no?
Riley Bowen.
There it is. And with us, we have a guest this week. Jade Meadows is joining us as our guest host this week.
What's up, you guys? Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome, Jade.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome. First and foremost, thank you guys, anybody who went and gave us any reviews, Spotify comments, whatever the hell else, YouTube stuff, blah, blah, blah. We appreciate that, as always. If you haven't done it yet, please get on whatever you're listening to and leave us a review, leave us a comment, leave us a rating, leave us whatever you can do on whatever streaming platform you're on. Check out our YouTube. We are still posting. Oh, man.
What?
Drew's going to be upset with us. Drew's not here this week. Drew's going to be upset that we didn't video record our ridiculous intro.
Oh, fuck. Piss. It was just me saying some shit. Who cares? Drew's always a little annoyed with us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's got a real good, like, grumpy dad sort of vibe about him.
He's on vacation right now, and he's probably still annoyed with us.
I bet you he's annoyed, like, with his kids. He's like, bro, they're probably at a restaurant, and he's like, stop it.
He can like feel you guys right now.
Yeah.
It's just 100%.
Just eat your food. Stop
like
hitting your brother.
Scratching his ear right now.
Yeah.
What's going on?
The studio is just like some weird horror cinema, like extension of him. Like as soon as we walked in,
like a Cronenberg. Like you got a fucking like a portal into his soul.
Exactly. So
or
anything
actually, that's
we do in
Dreamcatcher, Stephen King's Dreamcatcher, Memory Palace.
Jesus.
Oh, we could do this all fucking day.
Started hot.
We're always on some Stephen King shit.
I fucking hate Stephen King. We've talked about this
a lot.
Honestly, I'm on the boat.
Yeah.
I do not.
Frequently.
Not a huge fan.
Not a fan.
Frequently, we've talked about Stephen King.
Frequently.
We're
gonna do that's the bit for this episode.
He's just got to stop writing about kids kissing.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Like,
is that a big thing? Is that a recurring?
it seems
Stephen King has Stephen King has like 4 or 5 particular tropes that he's consistently using. One of them is like kids being weirdly sexual. And then the other one is killing those kids.
Yeah.
Then there's another one where he'll say some weird 1950s fucking grandpa ass shit. He'll just talk about farts or something or like Stand By Me is suck my fat one. Just these weird like non sequitur out of nowhere little fucking like riffy dialogues.
So what else are you gonna jacket to?
What?
Fair.
Every book needs a scene you can jack it to.
You saying you should jack it to the kids? Patrick.
I fear I've backed myself into a corner on this one.
Cut that. Fair.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I did not know I was setting myself up
Stephen
for
King
that.
actually very specifically is known to have no sex scenes in like anything he's ever written, except that one very specific one from It that everyone knows about.
Yeah, that's kind of the one.
Right. That's it. There's no other sex scene in like anything else Stephen King's ever fucking written.
But like all of it weirdly horny.
It's bizarrely horny. Yeah, fucking weird.
I should probably get through the rest of the intro. Where was I? Oh yeah, get on YouTube, get on Instagram, follow us at Delete Everything Podcast. You'll see any photos, videos, yada
Just
yada
like we
yada.
gotta paddle downstream. We gotta get past this so fast.
And then lastly, if you've listened to all of our episodes and you just want more, we have Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast. We've got 50-ish videos on there. They're all fun as shit. You should listen. And it's inexpensive. What are we going to compare our Patreon to today?
The cost of it is cheaper than a bag of Halloween candy. Like $8.
Is Halloween candy $8?
Halloween candy's fucking crazy.
If you get
expensive,
like the
dude.
premium stuff, if you're getting
No,
like
not even
Snickers and
fucking like there's like a bag of like those like weird honey gummies or whatever. I saw it Winn-Dixie yesterday. It was like fucking $11.
like the Good and Plenty. No,
Yeah.
Good and Plenty's are like the licorice ones.
No, not like the bit of honey.
Bit of honey. Yeah. How much was it?
Like $11.
Shut the fuck up.
No, dude. It will be $7 post Halloween. That's how that
So,
works.
in
It's
other
like
words,
chocolate bunnies on Easter. Yeah.
in other words, fuck them kids. What do you, dude?
That's two already. Patrick.
Any more? Any more kids don't even go trick or treating anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Not like they used to.
I feel
mean,
like I've tried to give trick or treat candy for the past like 5 years,
And they never-
no one
never show up.
ever
Yeah.
stops
nobody shows up
by.
there. So there's like,
I try so hard, and
Yeah.
like, I want it so bad because I'm like, come get this candy.
Yeah,
Like, it's yours.
Here, yeah. Like I want now to be the guy on the other side of the door, being like, "Oh, whoa, you guys here, have some fucking candy. This is cool." And then shut the door, and then go watch TV for a little bit until you ding dong,
Like,
and then
oh,
you're
man,
like,
it's
"Oh, wow, look at
Spider-Man."
you! Holy
I gotta-
shit, SpongeBob!"
I gotta say, I think that just where we live is kind of a dead zone for trick or treating.
There's like-
because Gainesville does have some good spots, but you got to go to these neighborhoods.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's like 3 or 4 like super rich neighborhoods that are like, "Oh, they're safe," and even what the fucking super
Which is
weird
bullshit
thing.
because you want to go to the neighborhood where they'll put the razor blades in your shit.
The
'Cause
super
that's where
weird
you
thing,
get the good stuff.
Yeah, the super weird thing is the parents who follow in the car while the kids are walking down the
Yeah.
sidewalk. You
They've-
see that?
Ugh.
I'd almost rather just walk along with them.
But-
like,
Yeah.
it's just like, and then
Abso-fucking-lutely.
let them go up to the house. You stay on the sidewalk. Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the
That's-
car thing is like any cars moving while all these kids are running around. I'm
this-
like, hey, everybody, calm down.
That's what I walked with my daughter for years while she's trick or treating, right? You know, get like a little crew of her friends, you know, parents would fall behind, you know. And
Sure, yeah.
They don't drink the liquor that
Yeah, you
people are
turn
giving out.
a
like-
wagon into a bar cart.
Yeah,
you're good to
exactly.
go.
It's nice and easy, right? But now my kid's like 14, and her mom and stepdad are still doing that. And I'm like, no, you got to let the kid.
Yeah,
you got to let the kid
let her
run.
be 14, dude.
They
She's
got
14. You got to give her like a little baseball
Oh,
bat.
yeah, she's got like this might be the last year.
Yeah, let her go, dude.
This might be the last trick or treating year.
Yeah, like they even asked like, you want to come trick or treating with us? I was like, dude, she's 14 years old.
So I don't think I ever got to trick or treat once in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
'cause
like we always did like the Hallelujah nights at the churches.
Well, now all the
And, like,
churches are doing. This is why I
and
think a lot
it
of
was
kids.
cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It was like you played like arcade
was
games
it
basically
as
all
cool
night.
as dressing up as a demon and getting free candy all
Hell
fucking night?
no! I think my best costume was like a scarecrow.
That fucking sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
But that's another reason why kids are trick or treating less is because all these churches do the
Jesus.
trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they do the big thing in the parking lot where everybody sets up booths and then the kids just go around the church parking
Which
lot
is
and get
fucking
candy.
horseshit, all right? I hate it.
Yeah, it's like still daytime.
Listen,
Yeah, it's always daytime.
way-
The night is evil.
the way that this is gonna,
That's when the demons come out.
the way that like conservative Americans are okay with school shootings so that they can have like gun rights is how I feel about some kids dying because of Halloween. All right?
Oh,
you gotta,
wow.
you gotta fucking let them run, man.
It's like the one time
You gotta-
a
yeah,
year
exactly. You
where
gotta
they
make
can
the
just,
sacrifice.
Like, go do it.
You know?
like whatever it is. I don't know what
Your kid doesn't come back.
Just
Oh
go
shit,
do
the
it.
fucking demons
Some
took
kids are gonna get abducted, and that's
It's-
just
that is
the
what it
price
is.
we
It's
pay.
Halloween.
Unfortunately,
You
that's
gotta.
the
That's
price
the
you pay.
demon sacrifice. You know, like they don't
The
come
price
home.
you pay for freedom.
Can I just be on team?
Hot takes, hot takes.
Can I just be on team? Let's maybe just leave the kids alone,
Yeah, sure, but
including you, Stephen King.
but
Yeah. If we,
okay.
if
No,
we
you're bringing it
could.
back around now. You're bringing it back
I'm bringing it back around.
Now you're switching sides.
I've reformed that quickly. I've reformed
When I was a kid, fucking growing up in Detroit,
through the power of trunk or treat.
like I feel I was very privileged to have a full Halloween experience growing up because I grew up in not a super great neighborhood, but not a super bad one either. But it was on the outskirts of Detroit, and Detroit notoriously has Devil's Night on Thursday, on the day, I think of fucking Halloween is Friday, on the 30th. Right. So Devil's Night is the night that people go fucking crazy. And like throughout the 80s and 90s, there was like gang activity and murders and shit. Yeah. And like, but there's like always rashes of arson and like cars getting flipped and like all this crazy shit. And they get it out of their system as this like purge. And then on Halloween, all the kids gone. It's fine.
Everybody just sees the day,
But like as a kid growing up, it'd always be like Devil's Night. Like I'd be like, "Can I go out tonight?" And they're like, "Fuck it." My parents, no,
absolutely,
you stay
not.
Inside. I'm like, "Oh, but I want to burn. I want to burn." And every kid in town is like, "I want to go out and fucking destroy."
I remember growing up, like we wouldn't even leave. Like, shit, man. Like from as early, I can never remember starting to trick or treat while the sun was still out.
Yeah, you gotta wait till it's like.
Yeah, and like I just remember like going, my cousin's neighborhood, and then when we moved here, I was like around 12, 13, but we'd still go fucking trick or treat. Mm-hmm. And like it would always be just a ton of fucking kids out, and like there wasn't a house without a light on.
Right.
And I mean, the neighborhood where the Shores here is giant.
Yeah,
it's
massive,
gigantic,
huge subdivision. One of the biggest subdivisions I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we would just go as far as we could before we'd be like, I guess we should probably go home before our parents think we're dead.
Yeah.
And, we'd do fucking wild shit. We'd steal whole bowls of candy off people's porches. Or
smash a pumpkin or two. Knock over a mailbox.
There was one year that friend of the show, Brian Velez, was...
Are you gonna call him out on a crime he committed right now?
No, I'm going to call me out on something horrible I did to him.
Okay.
He was dressed as Mr. Cotter.
Welcome back, Cotter. That's fucking such a Brian Velez ass thing to dress.
He was wearing like fucking polyester bell bottoms.
Not even Vinny Barbarino. He's fucking Cotter.
Wild.
And I was Bubba from Forrest Gump. And
Patrick,
what? I didn't say I had blackface on.
You
assumed.
You were just pouting your like bottom lip out a lot and talking
I had a cotton ball in there.
That seems problematic as well, Patrick.
Why?
Just paddling downstream. Okay, here we go.
A man can't talk about shrimp without it having some sort of fucking racial connotation. A man can't love shrimp, Riley. Anyway, I had a BB gun.
A lot of ways to make shrimp.
I had a Daisy BB gun as
shrimp,
part of my Halloween costume. Mm-hmm. And I decided at one point, Brian was being Brian. We're like 13 years old. I decided to just shoot him in the ass point blank with my
Classic,
BB gun.
Yeah.
I'm wearing army fatigues.
Yeah.
So
walking around with a gun, army fatigues in the middle of the night, that's no problem.
Yeah. That's average these days.
We're talking about 1994, my friend.
Well, it was only 2001 when like 6 cops descended on me because I was playing with a toy gun.
A lot changed in those 7 years.
Did I ever mention that story on the podcast?
Yes, you did. But anyway, didn't realize he's wearing fucking thin polyester pants.
And he just embedded that BB right in his butt.
Fucking
like pop it out like a pimple.
No, it wasn't quite that bad, but he had a bad welt on like just below his ass, like on the top of his thigh. It was funny as fuck.
That is fun.
That was Halloween, man. That's how
Halloween. Look at these varied experiences.
All Hallows Eve.
I love Halloween. I love spooky shit, and as has been discussed many times on this podcast and Patreon and the even alternate fucking podcast that we're working on right now, which Jade, you might dig on. We're working on like a movie podcast as well.
Oh, sick.
It's called Bad Movie Please Fix, where we pick the worst fucking movie you could possibly watch, and then we tear it apart and see how we can fix it.
I fucking love bad movies.
Right,
So
yeah.
If you ever need some help, let me know.
Cool. But being such a huge film buff, I figured this year we could just go through some of the history of horror cinema, which, unbeknownst to a lot of people, is very, very important, particularly to Western culture. I think that, how to say... Where'st goes horror, goes the world. You know?
And then like Halloween, like was Scottish, Irish. Like,
it was Irish.
Irish.
They call it. Was it salmon? I think
it was. It was like a pagan thing, and like
salmon?
It was.
It was something similar.
Excuse me.
But
in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, the guy he specifically says the holiday of salmon.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced, though.
That's Samhain.
But like we definitely like
That sounds bad.
you saying how it relates to the West. Like we definitely took it to a whole nother fucking level.
Oh yeah.
Like we brought it to something like much more intense and much more tangible. I
Well,
think.
particularly, I mean, like, once you get even as far east as like Russia, say Russia doesn't have a huge Halloween tradition. No. You know, it's pretty much where in Transylvania is where it stops. They're like, you get to the Balkans, and they're like,
Interesting.
"This is enough." Well, because
we live this every day. It's similar to every day. It's fine.
yes, Dracula, we know, we see
he
him.
lives right there. He lives, it's the one day a year he
go
lives.
say hi.
He only lives one time a year. Leave us alone.
But yeah, like the Western societies in Europe specifically, you know, bring the Irish holiday of Samhain over. But there's always, you know, there's been for bajillion years. There's a real number for thousands of years. There's always been
Count to a bajillion.
2 bajillion. There's been
how I
like
learned it.
you know, harvest festivals and, you know, legends surrounding folklore, you know, fairies, werewolves, vampires, shit like that. And then, you know, once it comes over to America, we really condense it into one day because America doesn't really want to fuck around with that kind of shit. They're like, listen, okay, we
get
get
one.
it. You get
Right.
like, okay, all right, you had werewolves and vampires and shit over there. You bring them over here, fine, I get it. But they're only coming out one day a fucking year.
That's it.
Well, it's funny because it started off as a religious holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Even the concept of like modern Halloween was November 1st is All Hallows Day, which is in Catholicism when you celebrate all the saints, right? And so the
oh shit! So are you saying that like Samhain in Ireland, because of the Catholic colonization and overhaul of the native religions, is kind of the Devil's Night on its own right?
That's
where they
like,
celebrate.
combined them,
They celebrate
actually.
like the pagan, paganity.
They thought so where it
Paganity
correlated
a word?
where it correlated, or where at least Christianity, Catholicism correlated it in, was that the belief was the night before we celebrate all of our saints is probably the night that all the demons and ghouls are going to come
You
out.
got to reset the clock.
Yeah.
And so then the concept of dressing up was, and don't quote me on this because I have not researched it, but this is what I remember learning when I was much younger. The concept of dressing up was that so you could walk out with the demons and the ghouls and all this, and they wouldn't recognize you.
Yeah.
You'd just be out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
demons
even, like,
and
comes
ghouls
from
and-
like an Asian
and
belief of,
Bumblebee
like,
from
understanding with,
Transformers.
wearing like Oni masks and
Yeah,
things like
absolutely.
that. It's like very, very similar and like
I didn't. Did you just make a good joke that I didn't
I
catch?
said, you know, demons and ghouls and Bumblebee from Transformers.
God damn it! I was gonna say Raggedy Andy. God damn! I was gonna make that same joke. Fuck me. It's like, you know, werewolf walking down the street, Dracula next to him.
Bubba from Forrest Gump talking about shrimp. Oh yes, I like shrimp too.
So, as far as you know, Western society goes, you know, we are really relegated to that one spooky day a year. When I would say, you know, historically, scary myths, legends, and folklore have always been a huge part of our day-to-day culture.
Sure.
And what's taken their place in society is scary movies.
yeah.
You know, so because it doesn't have to
100%.
be fucking, you know, Halloween for you to watch a movie where somebody's getting sliced up, or
Absolutely not.
you know, ghosts are eating somebody's eyeballs.
And they
or-
release throughout the year these days.
yeah, exactly.
And, like,
It used to be
it's
only in October, right?
Yeah.
Like, but then you know, once you get the Grindhouse effect and all this stuff comes out of the
then you
'80s,
and then you add like, oh, we need seasonal paint.
yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, 'cause, you know, if there's nothing to fill your fucking February movie slot, you're like, why don't you put out Zombie 2?
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
Yeah. Which is a real movie.
Zombie 2.
But okay, I digress. Dig into my notes here a little bit. We're going to talk about the history of horror cinema, where it started and where it has come to now, with a little bit of emphasis on how cinema has been affected by the events happening in the time period.
Okay.
But then also how that cinema has affected the world at large.
Cool.
Yeah, I spent about 33 hours typing it.
Is that true?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like 40, 50 hours.
Was it really?
I typed a lot for a long time.
I've had some.
I
I've
was
had
supposed
some
to-
episodes where that's been literally.
I was supposed to have this episode done 2 weeks ago.
And I'd just like to say again, I'm so happy to be a guest.
Hey, thank
Yay!
Jade, welcome to the show. Okay, I call this A Social History of Horror Cinema by Riley Bowen.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Is your thesis paper?
Kinda.
Okay,
So-
I love it.
So, all right. So fear has always been, I've got here, soft hum of an old film projector, which as you move into the documentarian style.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Fear's always been a diagnostic tool. Across history, what a culture fears most often reveals what it values, what it represses, and what it cannot resolve. Horror cinema, born alongside the moving image itself, provides perhaps the most direct historical record of anxiety. If you don't have an outlet for what scares you in society, it's usually, previously it would have been written into a novel or even a comic book or a painting.
Sure.
But as cinema developed, people were like, you know what's scary? Is some of this shit. And then they'd throw it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Every major transformation in the genre of horror corresponds to a shift in global politics, economics, or technology. So we're going to trace that relationship back decade by decade. From the flickering shadows of the 1890s to the digital terrors of the 2020s, examining how wars, depressions, revolutions, and cultural upheavals have shaped the nightmares projected onto our screens.
I love it.
At the end of the 19th century, the world was, you could say, electrified, kind of literally, and socially. The invention of the motion picture coincided with rapid industrialization, the rise of psychology in our day-to-day lives, and the lingering fascination with spiritualism. So we've talked before on the podcast about, I mentioned Wilhelm Reich was a psychologist and pseudoscientist.
And cum enthusiast.
And cum enthusiast. He was a big cum guy in the 1940s.
A lot of those guys around that time.
They really
they
into
were
it.
really interested in what cum could do for them.
The thing was, like, around the turn of the century, there was like this sexual revolution happening, right? And the sexual revolution they talk about, it wasn't just people fucking, it was thinking about fucking and thinking about the, general usefulness of it, where it lied in other ways than just procreation. Whether,
It went from the Descartesian, I think, therefore I am, to I think about fucking, therefore I come.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. I think, therefore I come.
Honestly, beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, it's
That's a Wilhelm Reich quote.
yeah, there's something about a horse in there, right? Horse before Descartes.
Oh my God.
So like around the turn of the century, people are like really getting into this thought process, but it's also opening people's minds from like, imagine you're like a housewife in 1901, right? You've just had this same like religious upbringing. Like you come from a conservative background, so you like you can see that. I just gestured at Jade, not Patrick.
Yeah, I think
Patrick comes from a hedonistic, so damp, hot,
sticky,
jungle people.
Muggy. Yeah. I think anybody who's listened to any episodes of this podcast knows
Sticky,
that that's not my.
sounds like a
slimy,
dream.
It was great. It was great.
stinky.
Holy shit.
Slimy.
I had to figure all this shit out myself.
But like, imagine like, you're reading, I don't know, popular science or some shit like that, and you see an article that's about like the new thoughts on sexuality. And you're like this housewife who's never even masturbated, just like, oh,
God forbid.
People think that maybe masturbation's the key to something. Maybe I won't feel so sad all the time. Like just little things like that is part of a cultural shift that included introducing things like more extreme forms of cinema and storytelling into the cultural zeitgeist. Right. So in 1896, there's a French illusionist named Georges Méliès. Are you guys familiar with Georges Méliès?
I've heard a thing or
Jade's
two.
like, yeah, I fucking know. I don't know about
Yeah,
this
a little
shit.
bit.
I don't see. Sometimes I feel like I know these names, but then I'm like, do I, or does it just sound like another name?
Georges Méliès was like a pioneer in early cinema. Do you ever see the clip?
Okay.
You ever see the clip of the moon, like that has a human face, and then the little rocket ship lands at his eye? He's like, "Rawr!"
Yes.
That's Georges Méliès.
Okay,
It's from the Earth
okay.
to the Moon.
Yes.
It's, I think 1897.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. So Georges Méliès directed a movie called Le Manoir du Diable, often cited as the first horror film. It lasts just 3 minutes, but it contains the basic grammar of cinema. You've got apparitions, there's transformations, vanishing bodies, which is really fucking cool on a cinema nerd level, because that means that practical effects are literally there in
Like,
the
it all
from the
happened
fucking
there.
jump
Like,
street.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got dancing skeletons, and there's like a disembodied head.
Yep.
And at the time,
All that stuff is really cool. Like going back and when watching
It's
it,
fucking rad.
super cool.
It's only a 3-minute video of like the Le Manoir du Diable, House of the Devil, which was actually the title taken by Ty West in a not so recent movie, I guess like 10-year-old movie.
Yeah.
A really fucking cool one though.
Yeah.
Dude, there are gonna be so many diversions.
Like all of it always relates to something else, and like
that is the culture
at
too.
the baseline, like we're talking about like how like art became art where it was and why.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like it is that art form, and it is like
over the past 130 years, cinema has taken the place of what would have previously been theater, paintings, literature, stuff like that. It's the more common.
Well, not even that, but it was just like another avenue. It was a new avenue.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
So
and it's just like, oh, cool. So we can get this shit to move.
A lot of the like more artistic versions of that were created in these places.
Well, look at any sort of artistic avenue in general. Like, I mean, even like some of the weird AI shit that I've sent you with like all the like weird, creepy fucking.
I hate that shit, but there are some things that are like, oh, that's actually fucking cool.
I hate it in general, but I mean,
it's all right. We'll live with it until the invention.
It's got its uses. Like I'll say, like as a photographer, like the fact that I can like paint over a car that I don't want there anymore, and it just vanishes rather than me spending 10 hours doing that. Super cool,
right?
True.
Yeah.
Super cool. But like creating its own thing, it doesn't really do. It's actually just pulling from everything
and
else.
Also
which
just
like then who do you sign papers
it's
to?
an amalgamation
Who do you give money
machine.
to? Because someone else already did it. You're just like deciding how you put what where.
Yeah. Fucking AI has its stuff, and I'm sure that we'll hash it out in the eventual robot wars. So, all right, Le Manoir du Diable. It's just 3 minutes long. It's got all this like basic horror stuff, misdirection, practical effects, trick photography, and a little bit of body horror. Because it's the first I've ever seen a fucking disembodied head moving around. It freaked people the fuck out. People
That's awesome.
were fainting seeing the shit, and it is silly. It's like a silly little movie where guys like, oh, look at the bouncing head.
I tried to watch it the other night, and I actually realized that I can only watch black and white if it's daytime.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm watching black and night at night, I'm asleep.
It's a fucking
I am asleep.
Yeah, I tried to watch a movie called Night of the Hunter the other day, which is a fucking classic. And yeah, it was nighttime, and I just fucking conked right out.
I just can't do it. I don't know why. I don't know if
you
it's
used to be
like,
able to watch
I don't
this
know
shit
if
all
it's
the
my
time.
age or what.
It's
Like,
just fucking-
I still think it's great, but like, god damn,
Night of the
I
Hunter
just- I
rules
fall
too. Yeah.
asleep.
So these early films, George Méliès and a couple other like small guys. If you look at some other movies too, there are elements of horror, like The Great Train Robbery, kind of logged as one of the first, or like the first real movie. There's that classic shot of a man facing directly into the camera with a gun and pulling the trigger, shooting at the audience.
Okay.
And it's like really deadpan. That is one of the most iconic shots of all time, but it also scared the living fuck out of people because before before you fucking ever saw a movie, they'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
The spectacle of this is overwhelming.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Like how many people would faint or throw up from seeing just literally just seeing things move.
Yeah.
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 It's like the first time you saw a live photograph and you press the thing and it started moving, you're like, ah!
Well, it's like hard for us to even comprehend.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we wouldn't know.
I
Like,
even think the live photo is not a great example because
It's like Harry Potter pictures.
we were capable of having like, movies and videos and stuff. So I mean, even that's not a great, but I mean, any sort of like new technology that's completely foreign, like self-driving cars.
Yep.
I have yet to get into one. The thought of getting into one fucking freaks me out.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could put on some like
I don't trust it.
Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars and just drive yourself when all the other cars are self-driving, like Will Smith in iRobot.
And we see how that movie went.
You saw it.
Thumbs up.
Turns out he was
Life
a
was
fucking robot.
great.
He was great at the end of that, right? Everything worked out.
Yeah. No, everything was perfect.
Perfect.
You know Alan Tudyk was nobody cares. Okay, so these early films reflect the wonder and anxiety of modernity. You got electricity and machinery blurring boundaries between life and death, between today and tomorrow, between the body and the image. All this stuff. Like you've never seen a photograph move before, and now you're seeing it up on the wall, and you're like, is that a fucking person? Did it actually steal my soul? Is that what's up there?
You got to think like there were probably a lot of people living in like say let's say like rural Pennsylvania, right? And so it's not necessarily a great cost or distance to like take the family to New York or even Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're in New England, it's like 3 hours.
Where you would be able to see these these movies. So you take the whole family there, you hop on a train, go to New York.
We're gonna go see the flicker pictures.
We're gonna go see a moving picture. And then, and also like
you get there and like it's ghosts.
Yeah, and you talk about these are people that maybe have never before seen like electricity.
They have one
electric
picture,
bulbs.
They have one picture in their house of Mama.
It's like the bulb
she had
frame.
She had to sit still for 48 minutes.
There's just one picture in the house is an old lady holding a small pumpkin, just looking fucking furious for some reason.
That's the funny thing when people are like, how come no one ever smiled in old photos? And it's like, because you had to sit there forever.
Yeah, like a long time. Like,
But so it is conceivable that a lot of people would probably come from like, let's say rural Ohio, rural Pennsylvania, whatever, to like
we
places
say rural
that
a lot on this podcast, and it's the hardest word in the world to say.
Rural.
Ohio.
I'm from the country and I hate it.
Rural Ohio was just really, it just turned into one where I was like, rural Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I mean, it is conceivable that a lot of people would go somewhere like New York or Philadelphia where there is electricity, electric bulbs and horseless carriages and all these things that like don't exist in the country, and movies being one of those. That's got to be fucking overwhelming to be like, we live a 7-hour train ride away or whatever, and
I'm like a big hoop with a stick kind of guy. And like, now here we are. This building is 4 stories.
Well, then I guess what side of like your feelings on technology, because I feel like everybody's sort of reticent at first.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that's the story of everything.
Yeah,
even
a lot
like
of people had to have been like, they're ruining society.
For the longest time, like there's still like a massive void in photographs of like Native Americans from the early time period, because usually like the story would repeat itself where somebody'd take a photo and then show it to the natives and they go, oh no, fuck that. Fuck that. No, burn that.
Whatever you just
I
did?
want me back. Give me back. Whatever you took out of me, I need that.
Yeah. That was a big thing with like Australian Aborigines, right?
Yeah.
Don't take a photo of them because
don't do that.
Yeah, I think it's like pretty universal between like
indigenous cultures,
people of like everywhere, like it's
primitive indigenous cultures.
Yeah, it's like again like something that you can't even fathom,
right?
Like
it's very much we're seeing that reflected in society now, because you can take a picture of yourself and upload it to an AI program with like a voice clip and be like, "Hi, I'm Riley, the AI. Watch me poop on a rabbit or something."
Yeah, I see all these trends of
and
people
you're like,
doing,
no,
I did a Halloween photo shoot, and it's like really just like you told AI to like put you, and it's like
no,
it's fucking
right.
It's like
I want it back. Give me whatever. Give me back.
Give me the pieces of me you stole.
And this is the root of like revenge porn and shit like that. Just like your photo being a representation of you, essentially a part of your soul, that somebody can misuse. It's all fucking black magic voodoo. I talk about this all the time. We live in an era of just unbelievable magic.
I mean, like, technology is magic.
It's all just magic.
When you break it down,
it's insane. Lightning is ghosts.
It's like shit. It's like shit people like didn't think they could do, and then like you put the right chemicals together and put a spark to it, and it does some crazy shit.
I wish I could just go live on a fucking mountain by myself.
I mean, that's why I love like photography in a way. It's like it used to be alchemy. It was chemicals.
The first person
together and like doing all that shit.
Now you don't even have to point and shoot anymore. You just put it in a computer. This is what I want it to look like.
Hey, don't tell them that. I still got a job.
Okay, so cinema itself around this time period, we could talk about this all fucking day, actually, this exact time period, because it's like a metaphor for, a metaphor for the future. You can literally see yourself in the past while you're living in the future. It's like this bizarre metaphor for fucking resurrection and transformation and all this shit. And nobody had the concept of it, really. It freaked people out so hard that it would just leave them with this like fucking this like angst and this sadness. Like there were so many reports in the early 1900s of people like seeing their first movie and then fucking killing themselves. Like it happened a lot. Because they'd be like, I can't comprehend what's happening with the world. This is beyond. Now they're a bunch of pussies. We do this shit every day. There's some new fucking horror. We're one day away from like the fucking the emotion blob floating down the street and like.
God. I hate this time period so much.
It's horrifying. It's a nightmare. But I always think of it like it's the period.
But
do you
think people back there thought the same way? Like this is because I mean,
100%. Yeah,
100%. There have got to be people who thought like electricity and cars.
It was the end of everything.
We're just gonna ruin society, and now it's like
because
it's happened like time and time again.
Yeah.
Where these people say like the world's ending this date.
Yeah,
2
that's
years
true.
and the
internet.
like,
I mean, I remember
there's always a reason for the world to end.
I remember the internet. Once the internet sort of started getting into everyone's home, within a few years it was Y2K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, there's always just something where it's like, well, internet's gonna collapse everything.
This is it. Because it's honestly like those people are the people that want it. Like they are like yearning and waiting for that to come because like they have better plans after all of this. After billions of people are dead,
so many people have many people have apocalypse fetishes.
I think with the advent of things like film, photography, and electricity, right? A lot of people, especially religious fundamentalists, Quakers, and people living in predominantly rural areas, like they were still close enough to like a medieval sensibility even that when like electric lights start popping up, they're like, that is wizard shit and I do not fuck with that. Thank you so much. I mean, that's literally where the Amish are. They're just like, no, we don't fuck with Satan. We're not using electric lights.
I can't understand it, so therefore it's dangerous.
That's evil. Like, you know what I understand? Grass, wheat, barn.
Yeah.
We're going to stick with butter and you can go fuck yourself, Satan. All right, but anyway, so at the same time, Meanwhile, back at the ranch, in literature, Gothic traditions were being reinterpreted through like a scientific lens too. So Mary Shelley had Frankenstein about a century earlier.
Sure.
Right? And that became like a guiding myth of modern horror. How many times have you seen a different reinterpretation of Frankenstein?
Oh, a ton.
Right? So like when the Universal Monsters came out with Dracula, Frankenstein, all this other shit, it was literally
Frankenstein's monster.
The movie's called Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's about the doctor. I'm just we operate on facts.
You know what? Actually, here's a point that I want to fucking interject on because I've thought about this for a long time. Okay? I think that the title Frankenstein is about the monster. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that monster thinks of itself as a person and refers to Dr. Frankenstein as father.
Okay.
Which would make him Frankenstein.
Frankie Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Frankie
I think
Jr.
that the title refers to the monster specifically because it is a man with a name.
I just got an idea.
Calling him Frankenstein's monster is fucked up. That's kind of the point of the whole story, that it's fucked up they keep calling him a monster.
Yeah. I just got a great idea for a new iteration of Frankenstein, and it's
also Dracula, kind of fucked up not to give him his title, right? I mean, like, he's a count. Please.
Okay.
Wolfman?
Guido Frankenstein.
Guido Frankenstein. Hey, I'm fucking Frankenstein.
We're gonna write this fucking script. We're writing this script, the three of us together.
Hey,
for Guido Frankenstein.
I got fucking bolts in my neck.
Like,
hey, Ma.
Antoinette's fucking.
Who the fuck are you coming around here?
Perfect.
We'll twist it on like a Bride of Frankenstein thing, but it'll just be they're all fucking. Hey, what you fucking doing?
Put down the fucking pitchforks. I'm not gonna ask you again, okay? Put down the fucking pitchforks and the fucking torches.
You got 3 seconds,
or else I'm gonna get.
Hey,
mad.
whoa! Fire bad. Okay. Okay, so
I made a rotten flesh here.
So yeah, Frankenstein pops up in the written format about a century earlier, and that guides a lot of modern horror into like the fear of technological creation beyond human control, and that leads you directly into the First World War. Right,
Okay.
So like already people are freaked out. You've got war, H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
Yep.
Fear of the unknown and science.
That was
fiction.
after what year was H.G. Wells?
H.G. Wells was fucking. You make me
That was
look
post World War I.
Shit up. Hold on a second. H.G. Wells.
No, I think that was in the 20s or 30s. That might have been post World War II. When did he write that book?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. Hold on. 1898, motherfucker.
Was it really?
So yeah. So
holy dicks!
yes, I'm that good.
But when did
I
it
am
hit
that
radio?
good. That was
the issue.
That was like 1938. We covered that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like the novels are wildly popular anyway.
Yeah, of course.
That was our second episode, baby.
Yeah, H.G. Wells popping shit out. So like the fear of the unknown, fear of like scientific advancement, outer space, technology, shit like that is really like popping. And as the First World War approaches, 1914, like 1918, artists across Europe began using film to visualize dreams, hallucinations, and unconscious desires, and they anticipated the psychological horrors that would soon follow. Like that was a big, like the the tension inherent in knowing that this next war that's brewing is going to be a fucking nightmare, the likes of which the world had never seen. Like, it's very well documented that World War One. I mean, any world war, all war is bad. World War One was such a fucking meat grinder of like insane proportions and just like constant unknowable horrors that no one had ever dreamt of.
I feel like it was definitely the biggest jump between like,
oh, absolutely,
like, oh, we're fighting with like swords and shit to like, oh, there's like firepower.
Yeah, it was like
there's like other shit.
It was swords.
Some people still don't understand.
Swords and horses and single shot muskets and a cannon was about the most impressive thing. Maybe but howitzers.
I think they had the crank.
Yeah, the howitzers.
Gatlin.
Howitzers.
Yeah.
I mean, then suddenly you go to fucking planes and tanks and shit. Like, that was wild.
I mean, like airplanes were brand fucking new.
Yeah,
you're like, we're being attacked by birdmen, and they blow us up. The birds could blow us up now. They're made of wood.
Yeah,
the fuck.
Oh god,
just like. You just being a farmer in Italy in 1914 when fucking tanks and shit are rolling through, you're like, oh well, I guess hell is on Earth and I can die now. That's like,
we
time
made
to
it, baby.
go. All right, cool.
The rapture happened.
Fucking let's throw these tomatoes. Let's throw these tomatoes at each other. Get the fuck out of here. So, following the devastation of World War I, Germany faced political collapse and like obviously like monetary inflation and a bunch of
they had to pay reparations to half of Europe.
Collective trauma in general, but I mean, yeah, it's their fault, but you can't blame the artists. I don't think were to blame so much.
There was a bunch of weird shit that happened.
You're saying overall German society that suffered as a result.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you.
One sympathizes with fucking regimes.
At least in that war, they decided
grinding
to cut
stuff
it before
out.
Berlin was completely wasted.
Right.
Yeah.
There was one guy who really sympathized with.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's easy to look back on history and be like, I can sympathize.
Started a whole other war about it.
I can sympathize with the average person who's just kind of like trying to live their life day to day.
Right.
And then fucking Himmler over here.
Right.
Wait, no, it was what the fuck? What the hell was the first guy?
What first guy?
The first Hitler.
Benito Mussolini.
Himmler was with.
Huh?
Benito Mussolini?
No, the one from World War I, the German Hans Liebken.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't quiz me on that.
The fuck did it was fucking the God damn it! How do I not remember this?
I want to say Archduke Ferdinand.
He had something to do with it.
I think that's what
he had something to do with it.
That's what sparked it.
Actually, he had less to do with
goddamn Wilhelm. I want to say very clearly, I did not look it up. I started looking it up and then I got it.
I watched it. You can believe
the
me.
assassination of Ferdinand was what?
Yeah, Franz Ferdinand, and then he was like, "Take me out."
Where was he an Archduke of?
Franz Ferdinand.
It was like 3 kids or something.
Where was he the Archduke of?
Huh?
What was he the Archduke of?
The Archduke of
what country was he an Archduke?
Are you quizzing me right now?
Ferdinand.
I've got 2 hours of literally.
Dadoy.
Oh my god. I think Austria.
Cool. So following,
or maybe Hungary. I don't know.
I'm a little hungry myself. Following the devastation of World War I, Germany faced political collapse and an inflated collective trauma. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 left the nation economically crippled and emotionally fragmented. And out of that instability emerged German Expressionism. German Expressionism is possibly the biggest driver of horror cinema that ever existed.
Germans got some great shit that came out of that time, like across all art platforms.
Essentially, they were broke and they felt like shit.
Well, and like later on, our depression hit them just as hard, if not harder, than it hit us.
I just looked it up because I was like, is my brain broken? The heir presumptive to the throne, because I said Austria, maybe Hungary, heir presumptive to the throne of Austria, Hungary.
Yeah, it was the same thing then.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're smart and dumb.
Yes. Well, it's I pulled it out of a file cabinet somewhere in my brain, and then the dumb part of my brain was like, prove it. Look at the internet. Prove it.
So German Expressionism is a cinematic movement that externalized psychological distress through distorted architecture and lighting, essentially. So like, they're depressed and they're broke and they don't have the budget for shit, but they still want to make movies because it's Not a particularly expensive process, honestly. The celluloid, especially war surplus stuff, was not particularly difficult to obtain at the time. German directors like F.W. Murnau did Nosferatu, or Fritz Lang, the legendary Fritz Lang, did The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and later Metropolis. Metropolis being about specifically the industrialization of like the working class and robots and all that kind of shit. But German Expressionism was like, kind of think of like kabuki theater, right? So they build these sets that were just stages, essentially. And then the backgrounds would be really fucking weird, but they'd only have like 2 kinds of paint because it's black and white anyway.
Sure.
Right? So they just paint like whole cityscapes just using light and shadow.
Interesting.
And it made this really bizarre backdrop of color. And if you just look up like some stills from like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, you'll see exactly what I mean.
I mean, it was like a true beginning of like lighting these things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and like
sure.
actually like making like not only like what you're creating a piece of art, but like the light that you're using,
right?
Also
when you're,
in artwork,
when you're filming in black and white, you got to think of it this way: the only way to get really artistic with cinematography is light effects.
That's it.
That's the only thing you've got.
Like,
yeah, so it's fucking cool. It's cool to think of somebody really like pioneering this art and going, how do we make this look cooler?
Yeah.
Let's pull the light over here and have it cast a shadow this way. You know what I mean?
German
Like,
expression
move it
is
3
so cool.
inches.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's like micro shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
just like if you just dial it in a little bit this way, it becomes this whole like elevated
close
process.
the frame on it.
Let's-
Just make it a little more direct.
Yeah, let's hire some fucking glass blower to make a bigger light bulb that shines brighter.
Yeah, literally.
It's very legitimate.
It's like hot. Like
Yeah,
people holding that shit are sweating.
Yeah, you had to invent all this shit. So like these German directors are fucking crazy good.
Yeah.
To this day, you still kind of think of like silent film as sort of being like primitive, which it is. But the techniques they use to make it engaging and interesting, everything from like, you know, figuring out light aperture or exposure rate or things like that is scientific to like a minute detail. It's really, really crazy.
Alchemy.
It is literally
You are
alchemy.
balancing light. You are balancing.
You're balancing
all of
the
it.
power of
Like,
light,
it
right?
is
Exactly.
All alchemy.
Yeah, which is crazy too, because again, you know, electricity hadn't been around that long. So previous to electricity, your exposures are all by the sun.
Yeah.
Or you've got a fucking crazy flash bulb. Like,
Fingers crossed, this fucking works.
Flash
that's
powder
like-
or shit. You can't make, you know, like cinema with flash powder, and you can use fire for lighting, but like weird,
Inconsistent.
Yeah,
Like-
so they're like just inventing forms of lighting.
That would be
really
cool.
crazy.
That would be cool to do in like a indie film now.
I think that has been done. There's a couple of like we can look into that, but I think there are actually a couple of cool like satanic ass old silent movies that use fire as lighting, and
That's
it's
cool as
real
fuck.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
So the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari in 1920 dramatized authoritarian control. A hypnotist manipulating a somnambulist. You know what a somnambulist is? Somebody who's
Sleepwalker.
permanently asleep,
Yeah.
but can still like be manipulated to walk around.
Right.
You know? So this psychiatrist that manipulates a somnambulist to murder people. You know, it's this like kind of how to say, it's like an Agatha Christie ass like twist on the whole thing, right? So it's got angular sets, warped perspectives, and it all symbolized a population reeling from dictatorship and defeat. You know, just like they were representing the people of Germany being these somnambulists,
Right.
you know, manipulated by people mad for control. Huh. And then in 1922, director F.W. Murnau did Nosferatu, which is Dracula. It's fucking Dracula, but it just changed some names so that they wouldn't have to pay like copyright fees. Very literally.
Who doesn't do that at least
yeah.
once?
Yeah, right.
you
He just
know?
looked more like a Batman.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, make him creepier. Make him creepier. We'll change the name. And they had some cool names too, like fucking Count Orlok instead of Orlok's cool. So director F.W. Murnau translated post-war paranoia into the vampire myth. The pale figure of Count Orlok embodies disease, contagion, and immigration, like the foreign threat.
Interesting.
You know, the pale, creepy foreigner coming from, you know, anyway, the Balkans or wherever.
Right.
But like coming into their lands. And there's definitely like a touch of fucking anti-Semitism.
I mean,
with
always.
Nosferatu.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Well, because I mean,
No
we're just
way.
talking
Always.
fucking Germany in the early 1900s.
I mean, yeah,
like,
that shit ran rampant before. It ran
Yeah, exactly,
rampant
yeah.
after. like,
this was in the late 20s, early 30s?
This is 1922.
Okay, early
Yeah, so
20s, okay.
like Orlok.
So just after World War I.
Orlok himself isn't particularly like a Jewish character. Like he's got more like Balkan Greek stuff to him. And this actor Max Schreck himself was a German guy but like real long, skinny fingers and big nose and shit.
yeah.
But there was like a couple of characters, like moneylenders in that movie that are very goblin-esque.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Looking at you, Harry Potter.
but they're also because it's all about.
You've never
fucking-
thought about that? The fucking goblin, the goblin bankers.
I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Oh,
so
no.
I was like-
Have you seen any of those movies?
I saw. So the only one I've watched all the way through is the second part of the last one in theaters.
Okay.
And I literally,
Jesus.
I remember watching it and going, I think I get it. I was like, I think everything, like, I get it.
I have a very strong comment on the Harry Potter mythos, especially like J.K. Rowling is kind of outed as a bigot now.
Yeah. Big thumbs down.
Yeah, big thumbs down to her. But like you look back through the way that she wrote stuff, it's all very R.L. Stein. It's
it is.
It's very fucking in your face stuff. I mean, like to
It's
the
like-
point of the goblins that run the bank are just big-eared, big-nosed moneylenders.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And then like you have one Asian character, character in the entire series, and her name is Cho Chang. I'm not making a joke. That's right there.
and she's really only there as a love interest.
Yeah.
There's no real depth. She's smart.
And then an eventual traitor, which I think is fun.
Does she trade?
She betrays Dumbledore's army, turns them in.
I don't remember that part, but okay.
Yeah, sneaky Orientals. I'm speaking as J.K. Rowling, of course.
Of course.
I would never fucking name an Asian character Cho Chang. Are you out of your
Well, it's just funny when like people try to relate to the
Ching to
media
her
you've
friends?
created that has made you rich, and then you're like, no, that's not what it meant.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's like, you didn't
okay,
even have
yeah.
to tell me that.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see
I could have
it.
just lived my life.
You know what's funny is that she was like an ally for the longest time when she came out like years after the books had been written and said that Dumbledore was gay.
Yeah, right.
The character
Dumbledore
of
was gay,
Dumbledore was gay.
Hermione's black, like all these like there's a lot of just like I meant it as like subversive.
And then she's like, men can't be women. like just a few years ago, it's like, whoa, what the
fuck
hell?
just happened?
Well, I
We
feel
thought you were cool, JK.
dude, you can just crack that beer on Mike. We don't. That's we slick here.
Yeah.
trying to be-
JK
trying to
said.
be kind.
JK said. JK.
Well, I think
Yeah.
J.K.
JK,
Rowling.
y'all.
I think the analogy with J.K. Rowling is really like she's like, yeah, no, Dumbledore's gay, always has been. That's how I wrote him. And
But
then a
when
few
did you
years
write that?
A few years later, she's like, and that's why he's sneaky and fucks things up.
Oh, that's when you
He's
wrote
like,
it.
oh, okay.
Fuck. All right. Well.
Okay, so yeah, Nosferatu is also in heavy relation to the 1918 influenza pandemic, which like created like a massive amount of like xenophobia about foreigners bringing disease because a big part of the Nosferatu legend is disease carrying rats.
Right.
Right. So, and that's just post pandemic. It's 1922, right? So that would be if
At least nowadays, if there's a pandemic, there's no disinformation about sneaky
Yeah, we
foreigners
don't even care.
doing fuck shit to
You just keep doing whatever you're doing, and it'll be fine.
yeah, definitely there were no rumors about it coming from another country where people were
Why would we
but
do
perhaps being carried by some sort of a brown furred rodent-like creature.
Yeah, from like a country that like
with
you
the
know,
last
we,
letter
like,
is AT.
it's like
Yeah, no, but like that. So like it would be Nosferatu coming out now would be like Nosferatu coming out now. Actually, now that I think of it, because they just fucking
I know they just
Robert
re-released
Eggers
it.
just did, and it is also as a big focus on the plague. Okay,
Weird. I never thought about that. Yeah.
I fucking can't believe that didn't occur to me, but there it
Pretty
is.
good,
Yeah,
though.
cool. And that's why we do that. It was pretty fucking
it was
good.
pretty fucking good.
Big fucking cock on Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I did not.
I still haven't seen the new one.
If we're not showing dong,
He didn't have any legs, but he had a big fat flopping
hey,
cock.
if you got no legs, show dong. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I'm just now finding out the new Nosferatu has him fucking dumping dong out.
Dude,
and
the
I'm into it.
opening of the
You should
movie is
see
a
it for
fuck scene.
yourself.
It's really crazy.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's
I just said I'm into it.
it's
impressive.
a fucking cool movie. Actually, Drew and I went and saw it together. It's
I thought you were
fucking
gonna say it's a
movie.
cool dick.
It is. It's a pretty
Also,
good dick.
it's
It's
cool
a
dick.
pretty
It's a
good
good
dick. Dude. For a vampire, he's like 400 years old.
yeah, I mean, you think it's like shriveled and like
Yeah, no,
lifeless?
dude.
Nah, dude, that shit
No, he's
is,
got like atrophied legs,
ready
but, like,
to pound.
Yeah. He's ready to fuck.
Well, that's where the blood goes first. Whenever you take a victim,
So expressionistic horror.
it engorges that area.
You only got so
primarily.
much. You gotta put it where it
His
counts.
blood is stored in the balls.
Okay. Continue.
Expressionist horror is less about monsters than about the instability of perception. It's a visual language, so societies could, grapple with madness, on screen.
Sure.
To make it fucking, the more disjointed and weird and, I mean, dare I say, Lynchian shit fucking gets, the more it's like, not a cry for help, but just like a reinterpretation of the struggles of the everyday experience.
Holding a mirror to society.
There you go.
I got you, dog.
Meanwhile, in America, you had the Roaring '20s. So it reflected economic
roaring.
It reflected
roaring with depression.
Economic optimism.
To abyss.
You had economic optimism all over the place, but beneath like the jazz and the industry was unease about science, progress, moral decay. Even like the rural Americans getting more and more depressed and poorer.
A depressed economy.
Yeah, but people are avoiding it. So that's you get more in the 20s in American cinema. You get more like fucking Gold Diggers of 1922 or whatever, the fucking like variety shows and dance movies and shit like that.
You had to distract the pores.
Yeah, you had to distract the pores. That's like the perfect soil right there for distracted pores for like the American Gothic movement to start coming over from the Atlantic, right? Like, at the time in Germany, they're already doing the dark perception of folklore, and America's like, shit's not going so hot over here, so then they start to work into that. And then moving into the 30s, the Wall Street crash of 1929 plunged the entire world into economic crisis.
Yeah.
In the United States, unemployment soared, poverty spread, and social faith was essentially fucked. Like, people were not doing so hot in 1929 in America. Hollywood's response was kind of a paradox. It created monster movies to create sort of like a mix of terror and sympathy, which was like a weird fuck move. It was weird as shit because it's like, this will scare you, but also you'll love them. And that was like... that was like, well, they don't want anything fun. They don't want anything sad. Scary?
Yeah.
Let's go scary?
Let's scare the balls off of them.
Yeah, they'll get scared, but also...
Too, it was like also a shift, like you were saying, like, don't let the poor know, like, keep the poor entertained.
Yeah.
And it was like another thing where it was like, another newer thing where it was like, we're gonna make these monstrous things that you couldn't fathom.
Yeah, blow your fucking mind.
It's all you can pay attention to.
Which is crazy because if you actually kind of compare that, there's a lot of holding a mirror right here in this discussion. Compare that to our contemporary society and how we've got just like fucking movies out the ass.
I was about to
just
say,
fucking going.
It's a
all
good thing
time.
that would never happen in this day and age.
Dude, it's just we have, not only do we have 8 fucking million movies released like a week, they're also just constant streaming. Our movie library is bigger than anything we could have ever imagined. I personally had a $100,000 movie collection at a certain point in my life that me and my brother compiled over the course of years. And it is nothing compared to what just Tubi offers.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So in 1931, Universal Studios launched the Monster Cycle, beginning with Dracula and Frankenstein. And these films embodied Depression-era fears. Dracula represented foreign aristocracy, which was like a big deal, especially post-World War I.
Sure.
We had parasitic, elegant, fucking creepy Europeans feeding upon the living poor, which is like a direct look at like, oh, well, that's how the Huns did it in Germany during the war, right? And then Frankenstein...
and you just had a war where a lot of our boys died because
of these creepy fuck Europeans.
Because of one fucking noble guy had another noble guy murdered.
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool to look at it like this too, because Bela Lugosi's Dracula is fucking phenomenal. It's I just watched it actually just the other day, and it's fucking so good. Just watch it. Give it a look.
You're talking about the movie, or you're talking about the
movie and his performance? Okay. Because you think of Bela Lugosi's Dracula in terms of just like, I never drink wine, and just fucking this like stilted kind of ho 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 ho. But it's actually like, he's such a sneaky, slimy fuck in this movie. It's real, because like the visage of Count Dracula is a facade. That's the whole point of the character, because you see him as a carriage driver. You see him you don't see him preparing the food, but he doesn't have any servants, so he's preparing food. So it's all a fucking like a gilded cage, essentially. It's just like, I am this proper rich European aristocrat, and then as soon as he gets a second, he's gonna fucking eat you. It's like, and that was just like the look at Europe.
I just think of the Bauhaus song. Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's
Who
Dead.
Let the Dogs Out?
Yes. The Baja Men.
The Bauhaus Men.
The Baja Men did a cover of Bela Lugosi's "Dead" by Bauhaus.
Who let the dogs out?
Although
that was a deep cut, and you're all welcome.
Dead Cross did actually do a killer cover of Bela Lugosi's "Dead."
Bela Lugosi's dead.
Yes.
The vampires and belfries and a bunch of corpses, skeletons, bones.
It sounds right to me.
It's exactly that's just what that song is. It's just fucking like creepy things. A full moon. There's a bat. Look out! It's a
just
black
Bauhaus.
cat and a rat.
That's just Bauhaus. Every Bauhaus song. Dead Cross did a killer cover, and also Dead Cross just fucking rules. You know Dead? Have you ever listened to Dead Cross? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I've had a listen or two.
Some Mike Patton, crazy screamy.
Speaking of monsters, okay, so I love Mike Patton. I'm just fucking. So Frankenstein's monster was stitched from corpses, right? And so it symbolized this like industrial society's attempt to reassemble itself. But I mean, like, that's also kind of a deep cut on the whole thing. I would say societal interpretation of like the stitched together corpses was more about like the fractured social psyche. I think it's like I was saying earlier, like it is about Frankenstein is the monster, you know, not Dr. Frankenstein, but the actual assembled creature is Frankenstein, because that's a man that's been brought together from all these disparate pieces that is disowned by its creator,
right?
Which is how the working class of America felt.
And then hunted by people who were scared of its mere existence.
And there you go. There's a great representation of rural Americans during the Dust Bowl.
Yep.
Right? Like, okay, so we were the ones that fed the country, and now we're the ones that need help. And everyone's like, ooh, stay away from us, poors.
Yeah.
And each film blended these like this gothic iconography with moral ambiguity. You know, the line between victim and villain is really, really blurred. Specifically in Frankenstein, like the monster, right, being kind of confused, kills a little girl, but not out of malice, just like... I don't know if you've seen the movie. Have you ever seen it, Pat?
Which movie?
Frankenstein.
The OG?
Boris Karloff's Frankenstein, yeah.
The black and white? Yeah.
So there's this, you seen it, Jade?
Yes.
So there's the scene where a little girl is plucking flower petals and throwing them into the water, and she's like, he loves me not, kind of thing. And the monster comes up, she's like, you want to throw flowers in the water? And they do it together, and he runs out of flowers, and he just throws her in the water. It's like, and she fucking drowns. Yeah. It's a very Of Mice and Men.
I was literally about to say, it's a very
hug them and squeeze them, and then they don't move no more.
Steinbeckian reference, yeah. Although I guess before...
Well, yeah, it's kind of
that wasn't in the book. That was part of the movie.
Yeah, I think that is. No, it's in the book. It is in the book. Yeah, because
I have not read that book since I was a teenager.
Lenny. Lenny is seduced by a woman who wants his big fat cock.
Right.
And he gets too into it and kills her.
Well, because he loves soft things, but sometimes he pets them too hard.
That's, you know, that Looney Tunes character that's like, well, I hug them and squeeze them and kiss them and love them.
Supposed to be,
then they don't move no more.
Lenny,
yeah. So Frankenstein does that shit. So it's this like... It's this commentary on innocence lost and, you know, misinterpretation, which is all very societally.
You want to know what I just realized is a great interpretation of that, but this, man, I wonder if, oh God, I'm going to bring him up again. I wonder if he thought about this. What the goddamn ringer? I wonder if he thought about this. The Green Mile.
Oh, Stephen King?
Yeah.
You don't think that maybe he thought about settings?
Yeah, but
thought about the setting.
John Coffey did not kill it was two little girls, right? In the Green Mile.
Yeah,
he's accused and convicted of killing two little girls, but he didn't actually do it.
Right.
I wonder if he thought about the correlation of like, we have this view of like this big dumb ox of a person is just gonna, you know.
Well, yeah, of course, and they're easy to blame.
And he's also, you know,
he's black.
Yeah,
he's great big black dude.
Yeah.
That people think is intimidating. He's like a big teddy bear, you know? And yeah, I mean, of course, Stephen King literally stole that concept.
Yeah.
Ripped it directly from another fucking book. And he's like, I'm going to make it scarier.
My favorite part of the movie is when John Coffey grabs Tom Hanks's dick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's the...
fucking power move.
I don't know how to...
John Singletary? Is that who that was?
John Singletary?
Who played John Coffey?
No, dude, that's fucking... God, put me on spot.
Is it John Singletary?
No, it's not. That's not who it is.
Is that the actor's name, though?
No, it's not.
Something Singletary, right?
There's a John Singleton, but he's a director. Let me see here.
It's not Singletary?
Nope.
How many Terrys is it?
Terry what?
I said, how many Terrys is it?
Oh.
John Multiple Terrys?
Hey, Drew, cut this.
Don't do it, Drew. I'll hug you and I'll squeeze you.
Dead air.
I'll hug
It's
you.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan, you're right.
God damn it. John Singleton directed fucking Boys in the Hood.
Devin Singletary? Is that the
Devin Singleton? That's not a person.
football player? Is it Devin Singletary? Michael Singletary? There's a football player.
Donnie Doubleterry.
I don't know, but Michael Singletary does sound.
Timmy Triple Terry.
Terry Singletary.
Michael Singletary? Mike Singletary. I think it is Mike Singletary. And then he became a coach, maybe?
Okay, so during the decade of the 1930s, horror became like a means of social catharsis. It wasn't even really called horror at the time. It was just creature features or monster movies, right? The public could project economic and existential dread onto supernatural figures and leave the theater like cleansed. You know, you might walk out of Dracula being like, oh, I'm afraid of fucking vampires. But really, you're like, I'm afraid of those sneaky European rich fucks. Goddamn. Yeah. But they aren't here, so I'm fine.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I haven't been stitched together from dead flesh, I don't think, so I'll probably be okay. So meanwhile, in Europe, the rise of fascism introduced a new kind of political horror with the movie Vampire. Which is like another spin-off Nosferatu that's even darker and gnarlier and like really started getting into violence. I believe it's one of the first appearances of like real blood. Yeah. Not like real blood, but like one of the screen appearances of blood.
Okay.
It's a ripper.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a fucking cool movie, actually. It's like that's one of those ones you watch and you're like, they were doing this in the 30s? What the fuck?
Huh. I watch it and I'm like, fucking finally. Yeah. Like, can we get to some fucking real shit already?
Can we do something fun for once?
Come on.
Someone get ripped to shreds.
Up a little bit.
Yeah, so but like that's one of the works where like other continental like films in Europe started hinting at like authoritarian shit. Starting to click through a little bit, like Gathering on the Horizon. You know,
and this is what year?
This was in 1932.
Oh boy, there's some things happening.
The closest comparison I could make, and again,
they're winding up for sure.
We're not a political podcast, and I'm not trying to say
that
anything.
Charlie Chaplin looking guy was getting real heated over there.
That's a very interesting mustache that guy had. You know,
what's going on over there?
Why is he so angry?
Yelling about a lot of stuff over there. But I mean, like a close comparison to that would be like we've got some movies that came out here recently that are very about like political climate. Sure, and I'm not making a political statement because we try to avoid those as much as we can.
Yeah, as much for us as for you guys. Trust me.
Exactly. It's just
this is our haven to not think about these things.
But in general, like I just saw the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another, and that is like I have never seen a movie that is so like outwardly like, hey, this is what our country's like and this is what we're moving into.
We talked about this on another episode. Was that a Patreon or was
it was Patreon? Okay. Yeah, but it's very geared towards like, okay, so we have these like figures that are the bad guys in this movie, but like it's obviously allegory for a more potent thing in the future.
Right.
So yeah, watch that movie and you'll get what the fuck I'm talking about. So moving into the 1940s with the outbreak of World War II, like 1939. World War II fundamentally changed cinema's relationship to violence. Like that's a huge thing to note. Much like when we were talking about the Black Dahlia murder, not the band, Jade, but
the actual event.
I was like, oh, I know.
Oh, really? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how in Los Angeles post World War II was fucking insane because all the police were veterans. They were all Pacific War veterans.
Yep.
And like people were coming back from war, and there was fucking massive amounts of violence and rape and like all kinds of shit. So all these horrors coming back from war really changed how movies related to the public. And with the world witnessing mass destruction, horror couldn't really rely on spectacle anymore. So you had American producer Val Lewton, who revolutionized the genre with films like Cat People in 1942.
What the fuck is Cat People?
Cat People's, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like, actually.
Yeah,
it's about
pretty bizarre.
people that turn into cats. It's a black and white movie.
Okay.
It's got a really interesting stylistic sort of thing. It's kind of like a noir, but it's like taking those elements of like noir films from the 30s with gangsters and stuff and making them a little more horror. So you had a lot of like light and dark, you know, smoke.
And then what do they do when they're cats? They just lay in the sun, nap a lot?
No, they fucking eat people and shit. There's a bunch of cat people stuff they do. They're fucking, it's kind of...
Are they human-sized cats?
No, they're cats.
They turn into regular-sized cats?
Yeah,
cats.
But there's like a bunch of them.
I mean, okay, I guess, you know, Birds by Hitchcock was a big thing, and like
you'd go cats gnawing at your flesh.
Yeah, that's what the movie.
Only so many you can knock out. I've had
jugular. That's the plot of.
I've
Andrew
had
Lloyd
one
Webber's
cat
Cats.
go full throttle on me, and that's enough. That one is enough.
But anyway, so cat people, and then like I walked with a zombie, and when we were talking about zombies back then, we were talking more like voodoo zombies than dead flesh, brains. These movies replaced gore with like suggestion. So the fear was in the shadow and not directly in front of you. Because just shooting somebody in a fucking movie or cutting them up wasn't going to do a fucking goddamn thing.
Let the brain like do what it's going to do.
Yeah, which is also the point of the man with the screaming brain.
Of horror, period.
Yeah, like so Val Lewton's characters like feared internal impulses more than external monsters. Like, I don't want to become a cat. Yeah. No! So it reflected wartime repression and paranoia and sexual anxiety, which like... the influx of the sexual revolution at the turn of the century is now almost completely pushed to the side as America kind of like, no, control your fucking urges and close your legs. We got a war to win, goddammit. So like that sexual repression starts to get real fucking weird, and America gets way more conservative. That's like the big crackdown.
That hasn't gone anywhere.
No, of course not. But
there's
like,
always, yeah.
But like the around this time is like the crackdown on like gay bars and stuff, and like gay culture in major cities, and like a lot of fucking repressive shit going on.
Well, at least that wouldn't happen in this day and age.
Are we going to keep doing that?
It's my bit. Let me do my bit for this fucking episode. God damn.
So the period also saw horror. The period also saw horror refracted through realism. Like they got the trauma of war, the Holocaust, the atomic bomb. That kind of fucking threw the old
that changed some things.
Threw the old vampire out the fucking window.
Yeah, dude.
It's like
I could be vaporized at any moment. What do I give a fuck about some blood-sucking Batman?
It's like, okay, I won't go out. You can't come in. All right. Oh no. It's like, knock knock, nuclear bomb. Hi, I'm the atomic bomb. Can I come in? Oh no, you have to stay outside. Like, that's fucking. So in 1945, the detonation of nuclear weapons.
Oh god. Guido that was Guido Frankenstein. Damn.
We can do with Guido
Dracula?
Guido Godzilla.
We can do Guido
Hey, it's fucking destroying Tokyo over here.
Hey, I said blah.
Guido Dracula sells encyclopedias door to door so that he gets invited in.
Guido Godzilla.
Hey, look, you get 13. You get a series of 13 encyclopedias full of great knowledge.
Hey, just let me in real quick. It'll be a quick one.
Hey, let me come sit on your couch for a second, okay?
Guido Godzilla, instead of shooting like the laser blast, he just shoots spaghetti.
Just pastrami.
Okay.
I was gonna say marinara.
Waves of pastrami.
Guidzilla. Okay. By 1945, the detonation of nuclear weapons.
Take this gabagoo!
The detonation of nuclear weapons over Japan introduced a new kind of terror, and that was obviously the possibility of planetary annihilation, which was a new one. Yeah. People hadn't quite considered. Yeah. Pretty much before that, the thing that could do that was God. So, like, oh shit.
What did Oppenheimer say? I've become death.
I am become God.
Now have I become death.
Yeah.
Now I am become death.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Sometimes when I eat like a big Thanksgiving dinner, I'll say, now have I become fat, the eater of worlds.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that for about 30 years, and it has never stopped being funny.
Don't ever stop.
That is my big, like, dad's unbuttoned, like, taking off the belt. He's like, oh, it's so fat, so much toiki. Now have I become fat.
Jesus Christ.
Now we have room for ice cream. Okay, so, yeah, so that after that is when Japan produced Gojira in 1954. It transformed that historical event into this allegory, obviously.
So now we're post-World War II.
Yeah, we're moving out at like post.
I wonder what would inspire a Japanese filmmaker to
I don't know,
create something that would wipe out the entire city.
Destroyer of worlds that could just immediately wipe.
It's crazy.
Entire swaths of
this
cities.
is actually
I can't think of one thing
not a thing
that happened.
But like this is actually a really interesting point and time period, because we've talked before about how Japan during World War II is kind of one of the most monstrous fucking societies on the planet. Right? They are completely dedicated and absolutely fucking focused on war. That's their entire focus. That is their fucking literal samurai ethos.
What was their thing? Like unit I can't remember the name right now.
The Empire
they
of
did
Japan,
a lot of tests on people, freezing them.
They did
and,
bunch of
them do shit,
creepy, weird World War II ass.
They did World War II. So by the way,
I mean,
what we talked about this in MK Ultra, Operation Paperclip. most people think, okay, brought over all these Nazi scientists. They brought over Japanese scientists too, because they were doing wild shit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there was just like this straightforward dedication.
They were allowed to for a number of years. And
no,
the
Empire of
that
Japan.
knowledge.
Yeah, bring it on.
The Empire of Japan was singularly set on taking the entire Pacific region and fucking China.
Absolutely.
To the point of literally every man, woman, and child was instructed on how to kill. Like, and I'm not saying that was their everyday focus, but it's like every child in Japan knew that if American soldiers or any kind of other soldier invaded Japanese shores, they were expected to fight and kill them. Like
to the death.
To the death.
To the death.
Yeah,
because if you come back, because if you come back, we're gonna kill. I mean, any Japanese soldier was like, if you're in battle and you come back from like after losing a battle, you're gonna die here.
Yeah, there was that story.
Make your choice.
I can't remember the guy's name. Hiro, the Japanese soldier who was on a Pacific island for like 40 or 50 years after the war.
Yeah.
When he came back, like his fucking like great niece and shit was like, "You lived?
Yeah,
don't talk to us." Like literally, like the
crazy.
people left in his family.
That was like in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. And they like people that hadn't even been born at the time.
It was like 30 years. Do you know about this?
No, I've actually never.
So like 30 years after World War II ended, there was a Japanese soldier that was living in some Pacific island, did not know the war had ended. He had no fucking idea. Yeah, and so when they found him,
and that happened all over.
When they found him,
he didn't keep it going cute. He was killing people. Like he killed tourists and shit. Yeah.
When they found him and brought him, like informed him, hey, the war's been over for 30 fucking years. He like didn't.
Years.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was in the 70s.
He would not believe them. He thought when
they did a $6 million man episode about it.
Yeah, when people dropped,
they also did an Archer episode.
People
about
would drop newspapers like about like the story being over. He'd be like, "No, it's propaganda. I'm not following that shit."
Why would you?
And they had to get his old commanding officer out of retirement and bring him to the island to be like, dude,
that is fucking
what the fuck? And then when he came back, like trying to re-meet with the remnants of his family, like like siblings and
get the fuck out of
they
here.
were like, you should have fucking died. What is you coward?
That would be a cool episode to do.
Yeah, it would be a good one. That's a sad one, but yeah, he wrote a whole book that I would love to read actually for an episode.
Yeah.
But so that's like what I'm saying is like that's the ethos of Japan. It was so dedicated that when the bombs dropped, they all pivot immediately to like, okay, let's think of this logically. We cannot win this war. They've got the power of gods that we could never contemplate. Okay, switch, rebuild, and let's refocus our national energy. And it was like that. It was that quick.
100%.
You know, people are like, okay.
Hiro Onoda,
yeah. So they were just like
1974, 29 years after the.
That's
fucking
crazy.
So like. So they switch immediately.
He was in the Philippines,
and
living in the jungles of the Philippines.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So they get back to work, and they're like, all right, let's get the country back together. Fucking, they're rebuilding and cleaning and trying to survive for forever. So by the time the 50s come around, and they've been sitting on this now for about a decade, some of them start realizing, like, well, I think we're kind of fucked up, man. Like we haven't been at war.
I think we got something wrong.
We don't have an outward focus. We lost real hard. We fought so hard and they fucked us up.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with us? And that's when like the psychological angle of Japan, like the current Japan, starts to shift around. That's where you get anime and shit like that. Because they're like, we really got to focus on like art and cute animals for a while, man, because this is fucked.
Yeah.
You know? And then when they start doing like scary movies and sci-fi.
It also drastically impacted the society in Japan, rebuilding Japan.
Yeah.
After the war.
Because you're just bodies
and
bodies.
They adopted a very like, what's good for our society is good for everyone.
Yeah.
Which also, when applying like the discipline of just Japanese culture in general, made it thrive into what it became in terms of, you know, industry, technology, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
But they never really, and there are a lot of theories that World War II and the dropping of the atomic bombs sort of saved them from what I call toxic individualism, which is what we experience in this country, which is fuck y'all, I got to get mine.
Yeah,
which is a very prevalent,
very strong
attitude in this country.
attitude.
Like we need us,
right?
You know,
everybody band together, which is how you defeat Godzilla. Actually,
that shit happens. Like, what else do you do?
A good point here is so like the original movie Gojira from 1954.
Yeah,
that is obviously an allegory for the atomic destruction.
Sure,
but that's not all the fucking movie's about. It's very much about fucking around, finding out, and trying to find like this sense of national identity and banding together to defeat the threat. So when that actually gets transported over to the United States a few years later, because this is fucking massive overseas hit, because it's a beautiful work of art. It's an absolutely, the big silly fucking dinosaur destroying the city is like 8-9 minutes of the fucking movie. Like it's a very small part.
Yeah,
I remember watching it a long time ago and being like, "Where the fuck is Godzilla?"
It's good, dude. They got some of the actors in there in fucking Kurosawa movies. Like it's an art film.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know, specific. You know, Seven Samurai.
Oh yeah,
Like the head samurai from Seven Samurai is in Gojira.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is a good 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon and that whole thing. But so they transport Gojira over to the States, and the States are like, you know what? I don't like this so much. I kind of just want big scary monster.
Yeah.
So they transpose actor Raymond Burr, who's the killer from Rear Window, fun horror thing. But they transpose him.
Hitchcock, right?
Yeah, it was Hitchcock. Yeah. So they transpose him into the movie to be like the American voice, and it'll just be like a few minutes of Japanese stuff overdubbed, and then it'll cut to him with like smoking a pipe, being like, "Yes, interesting. Perhaps electricity.
Wow.
Perhaps electricity could destroy the beast." You know, but it's like he did these parts like 2 years after the fucking movie's done.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so that obviously is a big monster allegory about, you know, that's the shift. I think Gojira specifically in the 50s and a bunch of other 1950s movies that we're going to get into right now, like Them or The Blob, shit like that. Yeah. That is all just like the horrors of science and the horrors of man-made destruction. So like the 40s repositioned horror as metaphor rather than fantasy. You know, instead of being like, hey, look, Dracula, he's like one of them European guys.
Like he'll come rip out your throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
In this new world of horror, they'd literally just have a European guy come kill you. Like instead of like, it doesn't have to be a vampire.
Right.
You know, like
people are just as scary. Like
in the
people are these monsters.
Exactly, because we are the monster.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
I'm gonna slice you up, bruv.
You're in your drink, my son. Yeah, the fucking.
Ain't it about time to slice your throat, innit?
Yeah, that actually would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, mate.
You ever see Straw Dogs?
Yeah, it's right.
All right. There's a reoccurring bit on this podcast, Jade, where I ask him if he's seen a movie because he hasn't.
No, I haven't. I've never seen what's Straw Dogs.
Straw Dogs is a movie about a couple that moves to like rural England, and all these fucking weird Cockney Brits do some fucking gnarly shit. Dustin Hoffman's in it.
No, I have not seen it.
There's a joke in the movie Hot Fuzz when they're talking about the actors in
I have seen Hot Fuzz.
So, okay, so you know that bad production.
I love Simon Pegg though.
That bad production of Romeo plus Juliet that they do in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
The guy, fucking can't remember his name, but the one who's like the police captain goes like, two of them were in a production of two of those in the production were in Straw Dogs, and it's a British British thespian joke. I could do this all day. Just zip. Okay.
Literally every episode, like one of our regular listeners sent us a message and said, I need a list of all the movies that Riley has asked Patrick if he's watched.
Good luck.
That he said no to. And I was like, that is going to be the longest list.
That's hundreds of movies, easy. So in the 50s, following the war, right, the global order re-ignored.
That's not a word, but I love it.
Following the war, the global order reorganized around ideological opposition, specifically the Cold War. You know, the Cold War with the United States and the Soviet Union created a lot of fodder for paranoia and weirdness. Prosperity at home was shadowed by this fear of communism, fear of nuclear destruction, social conformity, like the idea of everybody banning the same fear that we had of the Japanese in the 40s was their single-mindedness. We just translate that over into the Russians now because they are so single-minded in their enterprise. It's like
we're such pussies as a fucking species, man. Like when you look at the history of humankind, we have just fucking misstep after misstep after misstep based off of just finding the next thing to be scared of.
Well, yeah. I mean, people are naturally afraid.
Choice.
Yeah.
We're just constantly fucking scared of some shit.
It's real easy to convince someone of fear.
Oh,
100%. You know, it's like that's
100%.
like the easiest path you can take.
Yeah,
the best way to get people to give up their own autonomy and their own
people are
rights.
already scared of shit that doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you tell them something does exist, and it's like no problem.
Right.
I believe that.
Or that a thing that does exist wants this thing that's
Right.
crazy and
that's not yours
and threatens you, and now
not yours.
and now you're willing to go to all these lengths to you know, for that not to happen.
This is actually possibly the best part of like the podcast right now because that is exactly the point that I was going to make, because that's what horror cinema is for the next 20 years, from 50s into the 70s. Because America is very good at propaganda.
Yeah.
We've always been.
Yeah.
And realizing that, so like in the 40s, Hollywood was kind of industrialized by the military to churn things out like Popeye shorts and shit like that, and things for the troops and little propagandic movies. And now they realize the power of reaching the people through cinema. So that's where now the scripts that are getting approved for horror movies are reflective of tensions in the Cold War. Like specifically Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 1956.
Okay.
Right? There's a foreign opponent that's going to just it sneaks insidiously into your mind. You can't even tell who the bad guy is. That's communism.
Can't even see it.
Yeah.
That's commies.
Jesus.
The communists. So that's an allegory equally applicable to communist infiltration and the McCarthy era paranoia, right? Because at the same time that they're making this movie that's obviously anti-communist, a lot of the people in the movie are communists. So there's also this big leaning towards the dangers of paranoia. You know, it's
Jesus Christ.
It's
I love being controversial.
and it's just it's at war with itself in every way that's like cool. It's like later when you watch Scream, you know, Scream is all an allegory for a horror movie, but at the same time it's also doing some really fucking gnarly murders that are getting all these big ratings and shit. Like Drew Barrymore getting killed in Scream was like a huge screaming point for Congress for like years.
Really?
Oh yeah, because she dies really viscerally, like at the beginning of the movie.
I've already said this on the podcast. I've never seen Scream.
Scream's great. Scream's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I just watched it. I just watched it with my kid the other day.
What happens to Drew Barrymore?
She gets screamed. She gets screamed real hard.
Is it like a brutal scene in particular?
Drew Barrymore, I'm going to compare this to
or is
something.
it just because Congress was sad that she was the little girl in AT and now
It's exactly the case. So, all right, you familiar with the movie Psycho?
Yes.
Psycho starts out with a scene where the actress Janet Leigh.
I have seen Psycho.
Okay, so the beginning of that movie, the first 25 minutes of that movie is just Janet Leigh doing like stealing some money from a bank, not in a heist way, but in like a, you know, like, I'm just going to take this.
Right.
And then driving and being paranoid for like 25, 30 minutes.
Right.
And that's how the movie's advertised before it comes out. Is just like, yeah, no, Janet Leigh, she's great in this movie. You know,
Right.
and then 25 minutes into the movie, she's horrifically murdered. And people were like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? So in a cool reference, Scream does the same thing. Drew Barrymore, just out of her little girl phase, is like the big star of the movie. She's on the poster. She's the first person on the poster. Her name's the first thing. So the opening scene is just like her like talking on the phone, and then she gets terrorized by somebody on the phone, and she gets stabbed in the chest, in the neck, and then she gets gutted and hung from a tree for her parents to find, which was like such a subversion of the like, hey, this is a Drew Barrymore movie. You're like, it's a scary movie. Sure, it's a scary movie, but like, it's Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
She's like a star. We love her. She's such a cutie.
What was she in before that? I'm trying to think.
Like Firestarter. I don't know. Like
Everything.
yeah, like all kinds of
Well,
shit.
I know, but she disappeared for a while when she was
yeah, very much
yeah.
so. So her like coming back and being in a scary movie, people were like, hey, Drew Barrymore. And then they kill her in literally the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
And it's this big fucking crazy subversion. Sorry. Where was I? So other films in the 1950s did some cool shit with this communist propagandic thing. There's a movie called Them. You ever heard of Them? Jade?
Maybe.
Yes.
You got anything to say about it?
Fucking good.
It's good. Big fucking ants, dude. Crazy big radioactive ants just fucking stuff up. And the military comes in and they're and it's just explosion. Ants. And they're big pincers. And it's just like every example of like 50s big scary monster creature feature that you can think of.
Okay.
Like fucking on screen, you got a big fake ant head with crazy pincers coming right at the camera, and the close up on the lady going, no, you know.
It's like that classic monster freak out, but like condensed into
exactly. It's
constant,
and it is like a perfect movie in a lot of ways. It is beautiful and fucking cool, black and white and intense. But it's also this allegory for communism. Because
Russians were giant ants.
Well, because they're industrialized, they're focused, single-minded, an unstoppable hive of activity. This movie actually is co-opted very heavily later by Starship Troopers, the director of RoboCop.
This is where I lack. I'm not good with
my
names.
ass.
Officer Murphy.
No, the director of RoboCop will be Commander something.
Director Murphy.
Hold on, Drew, cut this. The director's name's Paul Verhoeven. Did Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
He's, I want to say Swedish.
That sounds Swedish.
Paul Verhoeven. He's a fucking phenomenal director. Total Recall, RoboCop, and like he's a really, really good, cool director in general.
Okay.
I actually just watched Hollow Man. Oh, he fucks. Also hanging dong. Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually noticed something interesting about Kevin Bacon's dong in Hollow Man recently. So there's a very clear sequence where, as an invisible man,
you can see
his swinging dick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's also a much flightier moment when he's on the table turning invisible, where he tosses and turns, and through his legs you can see his actual penis. Actual penis, not as big as the Invisible Man penis.
I was about to say, do you think it's real dong?
I think they hyped up the dong in the invisible sequence.
That's really fucking disappointing.
I mean, it's
you
fine.
can't do that.
I mean, when he's on a cold table when he's writhing like that, you know.
He's been under
a dong double.
he's on the table for a long time doing the shots. He's kind of squiggling around.
Come on.
That's a cold,
but I mean, Elizabeth Shue is right
table.
there, bud. And Josh Brolin.
Yeah. I'm giving no excuses to the Bacon Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fucking as a bisexual man, you got Shue and Brolin right
also,
there.
Like,
man.
I'm sorry to say, but like,
as a straight man, I'm agreeing with you.
If you don't got the dong, just swing what you got,
Swing
baby.
what you got,
it's
man.
all right.
I mean, and actually,
Like,
it was just interesting because I
not
figured
everyone's a 9-inch fucking dong, bro. Like,
I would venture to say most people don't have an idea.
I would figure Verhoeven would have been cool with that because he's always squeezing nudity into stuff. But anyway, when he did Starship Troopers is an allegory for
He put a whole extra boob on a lady.
Yeah, that's true. Total Recall.
Yeah, he did.
Open your mind. So in Starship Troopers, it's an allegory for propaganda and fascism and all this stuff. And he chose to model all of like the bug fights after the ant fights from the movie Them.
Okay.
And it's like shot for shot. There's a bunch of internet like comparisons of battle sequences, and they are very, very, very similar.
That's cool.
Like, yeah, it's like a direct reference to the propaganda of the time, because Starship Troopers as well was like the book. Starship Troopers is very pro-fascism, and Verhoeven read one page of it, tossed that shit out a window, and wrote a whole new fucking script for it. And he was like, "We're gonna be anti-fascism on this one."
Starship Troopers book is pro-fascism.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Wow.
Heinlein. Yeah, Robert Heinlein is.
Oh,
yeah,
suspicious. That's a suspicious last name.
I mean, Heinlein is a really good writer, but
Sounds a little German.
yeah, Heinlein's a really good writer, but he also,
it's a very good book, I promise.
But he
You should required to read it.
You should read this book and just take all of the lessons that I wrote
should
about.
be specific. He's a very American guy. Robert Heinlein is like
Take all of these ideas and just implement them into your normal life.
Robert Heinlein is super patriotic American, rah-rah America guy. But he also believed in military industrialization. And like he was,
which is rah-rah American as fuck.
Exactly,
what are you talking about?
Exactly. So that's like he believed in military industrialization and the way that it actually went. So it's really easy to see him, because Starship Troopers, the book, is all about like a space war where, I guess America kind of owns the Earth at this point, but like everyone is singularly dedicated, and it's in this direction that's like very like yes. There's the whole concept of like you have to serve the military to be considered a citizen, otherwise you're just a civilian, you don't have a particular set of rights. And these are all things that Heinlein advocated for, whereas Verhoeven flips it on its head and puts in the movie, makes that like, wow, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a little digression.
Okay.
But like that's just the use of propagandic cinema and the cool little tongue-in-cheek nod to like communist fears.
Gotcha.
And then there are movies like The Blob that was like, Blob is so cool. Steve McQueen in The Blob. We talked about him on last
We talked
episode?
about The Blob not that long ago, because I never saw the original. I remember the 80s remake.
Uh-huh.
And I remember being fucking petrified of The Blob.
That's a good
I was a kid. I mean, I don't know what year that came out. It was probably mid 80s.
I know that one. I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw the Steve McQueen one a bunch of times when I was a kid.
It was mid 80s for sure. I want to say it was probably like 86.
But like
Is there a book on that, or am I
The Blob? I don't
this
think
in my
so.
brain? There's like a book similar to like.
I mean, yeah.
There's like splits off like The Thing, but then there's like something else. I read some book that was like
R.L. Stein
like
did a million of them. It's like the slime that takes the Earth or whatever shit like that.
1988.
The Blob literalized atomic fear with like radiation spawning uncontrollable life forms that we can't comprehend. the idea of radiation as this like unstoppable evil. And then there's the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, which framed extraterrestrial visitation as like a moral judgment. Like aliens would come down and be like, you guys are monsters because you fucked shit up. It's like all this weird future sci-fi stuff is really taking the world by storm. And, beneath the surface there, optimism of like the optimism of suburban America was eroding heavily. Most of Tim Burton's stuff that you see later is kind of based in this time period of this 1950s picket fence, whitewashed Americana of the 50s and 60s. Right. And then like something dark bubbling underneath of it. That's kind of the subtext of the horror movies of the time.
Okay.
It's like even in the 50s, The Day the Earth Stood Still, right? That's where the movie Army of Darkness took the Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Okay.
You know that?
I did not know that.
So The Day the Earth Stood Still is about this guy Gort who comes from outer space and he brings was he Gort? No, this guy Klaatu comes from outer space in a fucking flying saucer, brings this big robot named Gort.
That's right.
And then he passes moral judgment on the Earth about whether or not Gort's going to kill everyone.
Yes.
And like the idea there is like,
what year was that movie made?
That's 1951.
Yeah.
So that's like him passing judgment was like, you've got this like beautiful whitewashed suburban front and, picket fences and clean streets and but like underneath you guys are all fucks. And so he's like, my robot's going to kill all of you.
Yeah. Klaatu was the robot.
Yeah. And that's exactly, Klaatu was the guy. Gort was the robot.
Okay.
Gort, Klaatu Barada Nikto. Gort Baringa. I do that all
those were the commands for him to do.
Gort Baringa. I remember that. That's a good one because that means stop. Baringa.
That's a killer band name. Gort Baringa.
Gort Baringa is a good band name.
It's a really good band name.
Shit.
Done.
I'm going to put it on my list.
We got the instruments
It's going on the list.
Gort Baringa.
We'll track right after this.
So like when you think of like Tim Burton.
This is, by the way, let me just for 1 second. This is the Delete Everything podcast band name list.
My partner
that's not even full.
has a note just like that, actually.
My favorite one is still Wolf Werewolf, I think.
Ooh.
The last one we put in here was Blood Flood.
Blood Flood.
That's fucking gnarly.
Before that was Christopher Lambert's Butt Baby.
Also great.
It's Christopher Lambert.
It's a softie.
He's French. Christopher Lambert. But yeah, so like Tim Burton's movies later in like the 80s and 90s, it reflects that sort of like polished front with like the decay underneath. Edward Scissorhands is obviously something creepy going on. David Lynch did the same thing, like Blue Velvet. He's
fucking
like,
Blue Velvet.
Yeah, it's like
I'll pray right now.
The societal decay under the like false front is all coming out of like the 50s. Rod Serling in The Twilight Zone, he did episodes like The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. That's all about everyone's a really like a good neighbor until something walls off the neighborhood and the fucking lights don't work and suspicion starts abounding and then they all want to fucking tear each other apart.
Yeah.
Which is a great fucking episode. I love The Twilight Zone
fucking
so much.
Masterpiece.
Globally, the British Hammer Studios revived Gothic narratives, but this time they revived them with like really vivid colors and like sexuality. There were tits for the first time. You're seeing tits, baby. And that like kind of signaled that like the repression and the desire of society to want to go back to something a little more primal as opposed to being afraid of like fucking being exploded all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Right? Like Christopher Lee, we reference Lord of the Rings all the goddamn time.
We do.
Saruman from Lord of the Rings is in a fuckload of these Hammer horror movies as Dracula, and they're these cool extra gothic organ.
He's got the eyebrows for it.
Great eyebrows, great fucking teeth. We put some in.
Yeah, he's got the eyebrows and just the facial like that. He's got that sort of like real chiseled, like emaciated, long face.
Yeah, he's creepy looking.
I mean, yeah, like he's like a
handsome
fucking
but
trained actor, and I don't just mean like an actor. Like he is like fucking like.
He could be a train if you wanted.
Literally,
he's that good.
Yeah.
World War II veteran.
Oh yeah, and a clandestine World War II veteran.
You ever hear the story? We've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
The story in Lord of the Rings when Grima Wormtongue stabs him.
Yep.
Peter Jackson wanted it to just be silent, and he's like, "That's not what it sounds like when somebody gets stabbed."
No, that's wrong. Peter Jackson's like, "I want you to go like."
Oh yeah.
And he's like, no, you wouldn't inhale when you get stabbed. You exhale.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how would you know?
It's leaving your body.
Yeah.
And he's like, because I fucking
he basically.
people.
I don't even think he even had to go that far. Like Peter Jackson already knew his history, And so Christopher Lee was like, no, this is what it sounds like when somebody gets stabbed. And Peter Jackson was just like, okay,
yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hands up, backs away. Yeah, of course.
I don't know how to make the joke, but when you just said this is what it sounds like, I thought when doves cry.
When
So
when white wizards die.
This is what it sounds like when
wizards
stabbed.
die. When wizards die, man, it's right there.
Animals strike curious. Fuck. So Hammer Studios is going back to this like gothic representation of kind of like fun, and this leads into the future of horror where it doesn't have to necessarily be fucking commentary every time. You know, nowadays when you get a horror movie, it could either be a pastiche of commentaries or it could just literally be like fucking urban legends uncut or whatever.
Right.
And where it's just, we're just going to dice up some teenagers, baby. You know? Fucking, it doesn't have, so like Hammer Studios.
That feels like the 80s was very much that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite shit.
That's the good stuff. I have an addendum about slashers as well.
Like, just fuck it up, dude.
Fucking Hammer Studios, though, like they did some legendary stuff, but it's all this just trash. It's like, they're great actors. Peter Cushing, Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars, if anybody's in the know, and Christopher Lee and all these great British actors, Basil Rathbone, all these fantastic British actors of like huge stature, all appear as like Van Helsings and Draculas and shit like that.
Christopher Lee in Star Wars too. Yeah, he was a Sith Lord in
that's the prequels. Count Dooku, yes,
that's right. Yeah,
Count Dooku. But yeah, you got all these great actors, and these movies are just fucking garbage. Just like the Second Blood of Dracula,
right.
Dracula's 11 Wives,
right?
The Hammer Dracula
ran out of ideas.
Well,
like
they didn't need them because they were like, if you got fucking sixpence, you can fucking run on down.
I was gonna say, you got to look at it as like how accessible by the 50s. Are we late 50s, early 60s?
Yeah, you're in the troubles at that point, baby.
I mean, economy's doing well. You're in peacetime. There's all this fucking hippie shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, Britain was rebuilding as well. They wanted a little distractionary shit.
Yeah, movies are very popular, very accessible.
And cheap.
There are no TVs at home, so that's the only way you're going to watch moving pictures.
And you can see 3 movies at a time.
And
like,
people would go to features, people would go to, matinees and stay and watch multiple movies. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how hard you got to try? People are going to come. No matter what, people are going to show up.
If you jerk it, they will come. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends.
I mean, maybe not you, but. Oh, actually, here on Delete Everything podcast, we call it Yorking It.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That started somewhere, but yeah, if you York it, they will come.
I think it started off talking about Tom York from Radiohead.
I'm Yorking right now.
I'm Yorking it. I'm York it off.
That's how you make your eyes look like his. It's that moment when you come.
That bit from the fucking.
I hope everybody listening is a Radiohead fan and knows who Tom York is and what his eyes look like.
Do you think when Tom York comes, he makes that sound from like the crescendo in the fucking end, the fucking end music for a film? I hope you choke. Okay, so in the 1960s, that's better than mine. Yeah,
it's a great song.
I almost thought he would go more Smashing Pumpkins with it.
Well, I mean, like actually, Smashing Pumpkins fits great in this whole like thing because, as we know, the world is a vampire.
Yeah, always.
Okay, so in the 1960s, the 1960s were marked by this seismic cultural shift. You had the civil rights movement, you had the Vietnam War, again, the rise of second wave feminism, which is the precursor to third wave feminism, where you get Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
So dumb.
Drew likes to talk about how fourth wave ska is on the way. That's fun.
Antoinette can't wait.
I love ska, dude.
She fucking loves ska,
huge
bro.
ska fan.
I'm like cool with it, but it's just like
ska fucks, dude.
It does. Like I just like I like the aggressive. I want to throw. I want to like.
Yeah, no, I get you. You want a little more aggression. It's hard to do that because ska's so fun.
But it
is. It's just fun. It's like, it makes you want to dance instead of hit somebody.
It does. It does.
They try to do like heavy metal ska stuff.
I'll skank all day.
But it usually ends up stuff like...
But it always turns into a two-step.
Yeah,
and I start throwing my fist.
Okay, so in the 60s, you had all this second wave feminism was coming up. The televised spectacle of social unrest was a big deal. 60s, 1963, you see fucking Kennedy shot on TV.
Yeah.
Right? So,
pretty fucking far out.
Things are in your face. Like, you got Vietnam War on TV every day.
Yeah.
You got fucking all these civil rights movements everywhere.
It's not in a couple years. Martin Luther King's getting
Exactly. So, like,
just wait.
like a massively a massive period of unrest, very similar to what we've gone through in the past 10 years.
It never stopped.
No, it never did. It took a lull through the 80s and 90s, and then it's popping back up pretty hard.
Quaaludes. It was Quaaludes.
Everyone was chilling for a little while.
Hear me out. Can you get Quaaludes anymore?
No.
Now everybody's pissed off and ready to fucking throw down.
Good.
We got people getting popped on TV again.
Everybody's fucking down to get violent. So we got to bring Quaaludes back.
I'm in. I'll
You
start.
heard it here first.
Yeah, sure, cool, great.
I'll be the test subject.
I don't even know what the
Let's
fuck
go.
Quaaludes are.
They're horse tranquilizers.
Are they?
No, they're just tranquilizers. No, they were horse tranquilizers.
Are they?
It wasn't ketamine. It was like a fucking sleeping pills for horses.
Yeah, it was like a concoction.
I think there was
shit.
technically considered like a barbiturate, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Quaaludes? I think they were barbiturates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, move on. Let's move on. Past
So
Quaaludes.
a bear walks
But wait.
a bear walks into a bar, comes up to the bar and he's like, "Hey, let me get a drink." The bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't serve bears here." The bear's like, "Oh no!" Turns to a lady sitting at the bar and just fucking eats her. Arr! He goes, "How about now? You gonna serve me now?" And the guy goes, "No, we don't serve drug addicts." And the bear's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, "Well, dude, that was a barbiturate."
Oh my god.
Fucking disgusting.
So anyway, so the 1960s horror reflected these like ruptures through kind of like a turn inward. You had like a psychological turn towards domestic spaces, right? Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho in 1960 marked the transition very viscerally. Its violence was really intimate and it was really inexplicable. And like its monster, Norman Bates, was not supernatural. He was very, very human and sympathetic in a way that you hadn't really seen since like Frankenstein. He's obviously a fucking psychotic killer. Not to, spoiler alert, but like at the same time, there are all these
if you
scenes.
haven't seen it,
There are all these scenes where
50 years,
yeah, right. Sorry,
get over
It
it.
turns out it was Norman the whole time.
Yeah.
But like Anthony Perkins in Psycho is such a profoundly human, flawed, sympathetic character. It's just this kind of weirdo.
Yeah, he's just
he's just like a little mama's boy. He's like, oh, just kind
I
of.
think at that point, most people could, this is the era before gentle parenting. So
Yeah.
most people could sympathize with someone who grew up with at least one parent
Yeah,
who was
overbearing
very,
parent,
very,
yeah. Also, fun fact information, Psycho, first film to feature a toilet.
Really?
Ever.
Yes, before that, no movie had ever had a toilet in it because it was against code.
That makes sense.
What?
Because like there were years later where it's like you can show piss, but it can't be yellow.
Yeah.
I think still to this day,
Yeah.
you can show piss, but it can't be yellow.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Like, you know,
There's a
it's
great
like-
moment in Robert Rodriguez's Sin City where Benicio del Toro's character pisses into a toilet, but it's not yellow when he's pissing, and then later his face gets shoved into it, and then it's allowed to be yellow.
Yeah,
Because you can't
like
have them
when it's
connected.
leaving.
Yeah.
you can't do it. Yeah.
So-
Interesting.
Norman Bates, not supernatural at all, very, very human, and someone you can reflect like yourself in a little
Yeah.
bit. And, this is a decade that saw assassinations and social upheaval broadcast live, and horror really began to mimic the breakdown of like our narrative order.
Right.
It was no longer was it the case that it had to be some, errant psychopath or some monster that was doing these
Right,
terrible
right,
things. It could just be, Norman.
Someone who was just pushed to
It's fucking anybody.
someone who just
Yeah.
someone who just broke at some
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
A normal guy
Yeah.
who just psychologically broke.
Psycho also, in a pairing with the movie Peeping Tom out of England, are your first slashers. And Peeping Tom is really interesting because that is a more fucked up movie than Psycho. It is particularly intense, but it's got a voyeuristic lean because it's about a photographer that murders prostitutes with this like device on a camera. So he'll like bring prostitutes in and film them and ask them questions and get closer and closer and closer, and then eventually stab them with the camera. And it's this brutal in your face thing. And it's British. It's really fucked up and really cool. But it also is this contemplative narrative of like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
Why do you want to see this?
Yeah.
Why are you different than this guy?
Like the objective of that movie was to like show something that like that's it.
Yeah.
You can't recreate that. It's like
It's also-
someone
it's-
being murdered 4 inches away from a lens.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like this, you paid to see this movie and you're watching it. Somebody had to make that,
Yeah,
right?
you're just as fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. It's the turning the mirror on society. But at this time now, the psychological lean of everything is less like, look at how fucked society is.
Yeah.
It's look how fucked you are,
maybe
bud.
you're a little fucked up, guy.
This is actually reflected nicely in the very bad Netflix series, Monster, the Ed Gein story that just came out. It's very, very bad.
I haven't finished it yet.
It is very, very bad. It is
definitely like they did the same thing they did with Dahmer, where it's like, shouldn't you feel bad for this guy? And it's like, to be fair,
I think the Dahmer one was pretty good.
Dahmer and him both asked for help.
I guess that's
and like
fair.
weren't given it, so I get it in a way. But at the same time, like you have to understand these are like fucking assholes.
Dahmer's so sleazy.
They're like fuck, like it's not your fault. Your mental health isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Well, Dahmer had already gone to prison, for pedophilia. So kind of like why did we say okay?
Gein probably would have had he fucking been caught for anything.
The Netflix series Monster, the Ed Gein story is again not very good. Charlie Hunnam puts in a performance. I don't know what the fuck that is. A little hot to be Ed Gein. I don't know why he's like super ripped and hot, but like weird, and he's like jerking off in panties and stuff. It's like really like why does he have to be hot? What are you doing?
Because it sells.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. But there is a moment where I think it's like Ed Gein's like peeling somebody's face off, and the character turns to the camera. And this took me off guard because it's like, ooh, okay, this is pretty insightful. Turns to the camera and he says, "You shouldn't be watching this."
Really?
And I was
haven't gotten there
it's just one little moment.
Like, but what the fuck's wrong?
Yeah, exactly. But that's exactly what Peeping Tom was doing.
Yeah,
and I liked that. The rest of the show was very bad.
I love it.
But like just that little like you shouldn't be watching.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why are you here?
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same sort of thing with Psycho, except Alfred Hitchcock really. Okay, so there's a great comparison here. In the movie Psycho, there's the shot where Norman Bates moves like a picture frame and looks through the hole, and you can see Janet Leigh getting ready to take a shower.
Yeah.
Right? The director Gus Van Sant remade the movie Psycho with Vince Vaughn in the Norman Bates role.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that is a shot-for-shot, almost completely perfect remake of Psycho in color. It's actually really impressive how good it is shot for shot. But there's one thing Gus Van Sant changed, just one thing, and it's the whole point of the movie. It's the reason he made the fucking movie, and it's when Norman Bates is looking through that keyhole, he masturbates. It's the only change that this motherfucker made to the movie, but it also is pointing directly like, this is what you're doing watching this movie.
Yeah.
When Norman Bates is looking through that hole, you're looking through the hole.
Right.
This is you, and you're fucking jerking it, you pig.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Rosemary's Baby in 1968 encapsulated the feminist dimension of all this kind of stuff. You had a fear of patriarchal control over the female body, the distrust of institutions, distrust of religion, medicine, all based around like abortion rights, women's reproductive rights, women's health.
Also, if you go back 10 episodes or so, that's really spurred on the partially spurred on the Satanic Panic.
Yeah, it's
everything around that time, like
that movie and Omen and a couple of books that came out were really
joke.
Yeah. So like that is like Rosemary's Baby just covers like essentially the woman's side of not having control, being afraid of things, because everything else is very human. Fuck. All right, Freudian slip. Everything else is very like male gazy, right? And the women are just sort of like these, like, oh, save me's. But then Rosemary's Baby, nobody's fucking saving her. It's it's geared specifically for her, and that is a direct result of feminist movements in the '60s. And finally, probably my favorite part of all of this decade, Night of the Living Dead comes out in 1968.
Great movie,
unbelievably cool movie. Like for super low budget, but just like scarier than fuck. One of the scarier movies even to this day.
Yeah.
And people scoff at that.
By the way, Return of the Living Dead, as far as I know, the only zombie movie to feature a dwarf zombie.
Really?
You see it for 1 second when they're trying to go when the
like
ambulance
an extra just running through.
Yeah, when the ambulance comes to the out you've watched the movie.
Yeah, of course.
When the ambulance comes to the morgue where they're all sort of holed up.
Yep.
And the ambulance shows up and then the paramedics get like eaten by zombies. And then they're waiting and they're watching and they're waiting for the zombies to kind of clear out so they can make a run for the ambulance. It's either when the paramedics get eaten or when they run out and then they have to run back, there's a split second where, because it's raining too. It's pretty much the whole movie. It's fucking raining.
Yeah.
Which is how the chemical gets out. And
Return to the Living Dead should be pointed out. Not a spoof per se, but a much jokier movie.
Silly, kind of silly.
And they knew what to do with it.
It's also
it's so good though.
It's the birth of the brain.
Yes.
So anyway, there's a split second where the zombies come rushing around the ambulance. And you see the dwarf, and he's running, and he hits a puddle, and he goes blap right on his face, and it's like this. It's this fast.
I know that scene because that's the one where somebody's over the radio, like, "Hey, do you guys need assistance there?" The zombie's eating a paramedic. Yeah, picks up the microphone and goes, "Yeah, send more paramedics." Great shot. So, like, Night of the Living Dead is released amid race riots and televised images of Vietnam. So, like, there are all these shots in Night of the Living Dead of just literally just naked or just partially clothed zombies just standing in fields or in the forest, not doing anything, maybe walking a little bit, but like just kind of being there. And they are hugely reminiscent of just pictures of people who have been affected by things like napalm or just gunfire in general in Vietnam.
I had a substitute teacher in high school that was a Vietnam vet, and he was like infected with Code Orange, like he got hit with Code Orange. Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Sorry, Code Orange is the band.
I thought it was a Mountain Dew flavor.
That's still Agent Orange.
yeah. And like he was a substitute, but like sadly kids would make fun of him. But he was like, I mean, shaking.
Like tremors.
It's incredible. Like,
interesting thing about Night of the Living Dead is I remember watching it for the first time, and it starts off with a scene where is it a husband and wife or brother and sister?
It's brother and sister
going to visit the grave.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, they're going to visit the grave. And then suddenly there's just a zombie. And you're like, wait, why are there... Because at that point I was so used to watching zombie movies that explained, like, this is why zombies happen.
You get some exposition later, but this one's just
later.
Like, here's a zombie.
Out of the gate.
Yeah. It's just... And I thought that was such a cool way to present it.
It is brilliant. George Romero, not my favorite director, but like a good director. And his taste is fantastic. No pun intended, I guess, for the zombie genre. But like his ability to just be like, no, we're just gonna drop him in here.
Yeah,
we're gonna have this zombie just standing here looking weird.
We'll talk about it later.
Exactly. We'll cover it later. Right now, we got this to do.
Yeah.
And then of course, this movie being based in racial tension or periods of racial tension, right? A black protagonist being murdered by white vigilantes after surviving the undead was interpreted as like a devastating commentary on systemic racism.
That makes sense.
Like if you guys haven't seen Night of the Living Dead, the black protagonist, one of the few black protagonists in a all-white movie at the time, survives the entire evening. He's not a perfect character. He's not like super selfless and brave. He's just a human man. And he survives the entire night being fucking attacked by zombies. And at the end of the movie, he comes out and a group of white Southern like deputies that are hunting zombies see him from across the field and shoot him to death. That's it. That's the end of the goddamn movie. It's thrown on a pile and burned. And it's like, huh? Because people see in this movie white audiences are sympathizing with a black character for the first time as just being a human surviving. Yeah. And then at the end, he doesn't survive. And it was like fucking so subversive.
Yeah.
Another fun commentary too, like a lot of the imagery being Vietnam based. Did you see the movie Weapons that just came out? Zach Cregger's Weapons?
I haven't watched it yet. I've been wanting to.
So there's like that movie is very fucking cool actually, but small thing. There's a sequence where kids run out into the night from their house. That's like the whole mystery of the movie is that these kids just disappear at like 2:17 in the morning, and they all run out of their house and they all have like. They're like Naruto running, essentially. Their arms are like out to their sides and they're running like airplanes. And it's a really cool image. It's really like interesting. Zach Cregger based that off of the famous image of the little girl in Vietnam who's been affected by napalm that's like naked running down the road with her arms outstretched, crying.
Jesus Christ.
So that like, these are like direct correlations of that sort of violent and disturbing imagery back and forth from modern horror to past.
Don't like it.
No, it sucks, but also, I mean, cool.
Yeah.
So by the end of the 1960s, horror evolved into explicit social critique. The monster's no longer anybody but us at that point.
Right.
But then going into the 70s, things get, like, frankly, just kind of more fun. The 70s opened with disillusionment.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, right. The Vietnam War dragged on. Watergate.
Oh, that's not the name of a. That's not the name of a movie. That's just Society.
No, it would be a good movie though. Disillusionment.
That's what I thought. I thought it was the name of a movie. I didn't realize you were just talking about culture in general.
Watergate eroded public trust. Economic stagnation undermined a lot of like the post-war redemption.
Yeah.
Vietnam obviously was not a huge success.
Not great.
So like, people are not feeling super great, and horror became a reflection of institutional collapse and like metaphysical crisis. Like no longer being able to trust big institutions, religion, government, things like that. That's why you get like The Exorcist coming out in 1973.
Yeah.
The Exorcist portrayed evil invading a modern household, dramatizing fears of moral decay and the loss of spiritual certainty.
Also, similar to what we were talking about, the atomic bomb, really scary.
Yeah.
Like it could just, the devil could, or a demon
just
could
come into your fucking house.
just-
Like again, like we were saying,
take over your body.
Like we were saying earlier, it doesn't have to knock.
Right.
It just is there.
It just shows up
Right?
and now you're possessed.
The Exorcist depiction of possession resonated in a culture where religion and science were increasingly at odds all across the board. I mean, like the kind of like the 60s sexual revolution thing countered a lot of religious programming, and then, the explosion of drugs, and then the Vietnam War, disillusionment, yada, 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 is creating this counterculture. I mean, it's the exact same counterculture where like punk rock comes from.
Yeah.
Is just people being increasingly fed up with the norm and the status quo. Right. So the Exorcist is a reflection of that. It's like fucking what we had isn't protecting us. Jesus ain't gonna save you.
No.
Yeah. Like in a lot of ways, it's killing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's the thing keeping us down. Yeah. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974 and The Hills Have Eyes in 1977 are, fucking cool movies.
Straight up slashers.
Great movie. I just rewatched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre the other night.
That movie is a masterpiece. It's also one of the grossest fucking movies ever made.
The early 20s,
straight up slashers.
The early 2000s one was one of the first horror movies I ever sat and watched throughout. I've got like a soft spot for that era in that way, but I just watched it again and like watched the original, and I was like, he's so fast. Like I remember just saying, I was like, he's so fast in that movie. It's fucking terrifying.
That whole movie clips along. It's only like 90 minutes long, and it's just like clip, clip, clip,
it's
clip, clip.
Fucking terrifying.
But it's not actually, Patrick, what you would say is a straightforward slasher.
No?
The fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like, it's commentary on rural America.
It's a slice of life.
As a wasteland.
Yeah,
right.
It's literally a slice of life film.
Like the reason that the people in the house in Texas Chainsaw Massacre are cannibals is because the fucking the slaughterhouse they worked at closed, and they don't have any money, and they're starving, so they eat hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Like that's the leaving behind rural America. It's the same thing with The Hills Have Eyes. Is just like these rural demons are just like left out in their own devices. They start fucking each other and become these like monsters. It's a wasteland populated by the discarded victims of capitalism. Families are reduced to cannibalism by industrial collapse, which is obviously like a hugely exacerbated like thing. But also, if you ain't got nothing to eat, you're gonna eat what you can eat.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna have an old man try and beat a lady to death with a hammer for fun, and
not particularly realistic in this day and age or that day and age, but not outside the realm of possibility.
We did talk about in Cryptids 2. I want to say we talked about the Sawney Bean clan. Right?
Which one was that?
They were the cannibal family that lived out in the hills,
in like Ireland or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like this is a direct reference to that family.
Yeah,
it's just.
I think it's like
creepy inbred fucking cannibals.
As much as it's not like the first choice, like I think it's very possible with a lot that happened in a lot of places. Like my father comes from West Virginia. And West Virginia was like destroyed once coal mining left, and then destroyed by opiates.
We've talked about all
after
that.
Yeah. And like, so like the town he grew up in, as I've even gone to visit throughout my life, I've watched it die even more so.
Yeah.
And like, there's like not a local restaurant left.
I've always
said, what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's
West
like,
Virginia,
so I can see how that leads.
Yeah. West
to
Virginia is one of
people.
one of the most beautiful parts of this country. But God forbid you have to stop somewhere.
The first person I've ever heard say that, just like me, I think it's one of the most beautiful places.
Gorgeous.
Like they live in a valley with a river running through it. There's mountains on either side. It's fucking green, like it's deciduous rainforest. Beautiful,
but
like
stop at a gas station. You're like, we have got to go.
No one has anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
I spent a lot of time I have previously the past year spent a lot of time in South Carolina. And it's very similar. Like along the coastal regions, you got some big cities, you got Charleston and stuff.
Of course.
And then the rest of that state, for the most part, is in utter economic devastation.
Yeah.
And I call it like a dead dog state. There's so many stray and dead dogs on the road at all times.
What do you do?
There's
Like,
nothing
what
to
do you
do.
do?
And there is, but then of course my perception
That's
of
a
that.
different episode of this podcast
Yeah,
for sure.
sorry.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
My perception of that driving through is the same as the perception of any other like middle American looking at Texas and the rural areas there. So when you put a movie like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you just easily do South Carolina, Texas, South Carolina Chainsaw Massacre, and I'd be like, oh fuck, it's exactly what that place is like.
It's easy to believe.
Yeah, which is fucked because I also, part of my job is going to people's houses and doing repairs, and they've all, to a person, been the sweetest fucking people I know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they can afford solar panels.
Well, I mean, as long as there's a government subsidy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like they installed on some fucking shacks, dude. I've done some work on some shacks in South Carolina. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. So Jaws, 1975. The unseen predator becomes a metaphor for greed and political denial and the fragility of public trust. Because it's, as we know from Jaws, it's not the shark that's the monster, it's the mayor. It's the mayor that doesn't
close down the beach on, what was it, Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, it's an election year.
Yeah.
Right? That movie is specifically about mistrust because there's no fucking reason that human beings and that shark should have interacted at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe once.
Well, after the first one.
Maybe once after that, like there's no reason to have people continuously interacting with it, you know. But in general, they keep it open.
Was it 4th of July or Memorial? I can't remember.
4th of July.
4th of July weekend? Yeah.
And then in 1978, you have Halloween, which is like, a lot of people think of this as like the ultimate slasher movie, right? And I'm a big fan of John Carpenter, the director.
Love it.
The slasher archetype emerges in Halloween as like a faceless killer haunting the suburbs. It's like the anti-Norman Bates.
Right.
Norman Bates is so human, and then Michael Myers is not.
Yeah.
He's literally, his name in the credits of his name in the credits of Halloween, do you know what it is?
No.
It's The Shape.
Really?
He's credited as The Shape. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
even the actor was like, no, whatever.
Well, the actor, I mean, he gets his credit. I can't remember the name of the actor, but he gets credited as playing The Shape.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
I
he
got
wasn't
you.
like
Yeah.
Michael Myers. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't Michael Myers played by The Shape. It was The Shape played by the actor.
I got you.
Yeah. There's actually this great, John Carpenter's a great musician as well. He does this cool techno shit. You know John Carpenter's music?
Yeah.
So cool. But my favorite,
Are you going to talk about the opening of Tech Noir
no, I do love that though.
by Gunship?
The world that we know is gone.
Have you heard that song?
No, I don't think.
That fucking rules.
Yeah, John Carpenter collaborated with the band Gunship to do a 2-part fucking kind of epic techno song.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But there's a song from the original Halloween called The Shape Hunts Laurie. And it is so fucking cool. It's only about a minute and a half long, but it's just boom. It's fucking heavy, great moods, super cool. But it's also just this impersonal, alien-esque, cold music. There's no humanity to John Carpenter's soundtrack for that shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's all just clicks and beeps, essentially. You know, so it's this impersonal sort of like outward horror.
Knowing he's like listed as The Shape, that almost makes me love it more.
Yeah, cool, right?
Like it's like that's even cooler.
He's not
like,
even he's not a person.
Not giving it that name of like Michael Myers.
And
or
that's kind
whatever.
of like I think that's the commentary in the movie because the first thing
it's whatever you're scared of is there.
The first thing you see in the movie
Like-
is from the eyes of the killer.
Yeah.
Right? But then turns out the killer is a small child. Right? So like I think the juxtaposition there is like even as a kid, that wasn't a kid. There's something else in this character.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? That is inhuman beyond belief. And I think that's a commentary on psychological issues and the fear of our neighbor.
Sure.
We're moving into the 1980s. The 80s ushered in neoliberal economics. You had a lot of media saturation, AIDS crisis, Reagan-era optimism, a lot of cultural anxiety about like the human body, your identity, who you are as a person, what you're doing here, why are we here in this country, to what end is kind of like the 80s question. It's like, okay, so we got through the wars, we got the civil rights, we got Captain Planet now, like telling us that we're cool, we just gotta not pollute. But on top of not polluting, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We live here, cool. What's the goal?
Yep.
Because we're here, like we did it already.
Yeah.
We've colonized the whole goddamn continent. We have suburbs.
Whole world.
We have suburbs. We have infrastructure. We got a freeway system and shit. We have planes. We have fucking Concorde jets and shit now.
Yeah.
Like I can go to Europe for $400.
What's
like,
next?
where are we going from here? And it turns out the answer was nowhere. because you're just existing. Like the map is full, right?
Yeah.
Canadian director David Cronenberg started doing these movies with body horror because when there's no place else to scare you, I mean, your body can, right? Cronenberg did a movie called Videodrome in 1983. You ever seen Videodrome? Videodrome is fucked beyond belief. It's this insane voyeuristic take on like essentially like people are so bored that they're looking for this forbidden video series / like game show called Videodrome that's like a BDSM murder show. You never actually see that show, but it's about people trying to get on it because they want to experience something horrific. And then there's like an emotional mental collapse that the character James Woods has in the movie where he starts fucking having these bizarre visions of like weird vaginas and dicks everywhere. And then a vagina grows out of his chest and he keeps a gun in it. And it's fucking weird, dude. It's fucking
far out.
But it is like super far. It's like it's beyond the realm of just like I'm afraid of slashers now. It's like now like your brain is fucked and your body's
like
fucked.
Anything can be anywhere.
Yeah,
It's fucked.
He
did the same kind of thing with The Fly in 1986.
I've seen The Fly,
and that one's still like a scientific progress movie, but it produces physical and moral degradation, and that's like both of these films reflect technological unease and the fear of disease. And a lot of it has to do with the AIDS crisis.
Yep.
You know, just because your body will turn against you and you will, like in Videodrome, being obsessed with this weird, like, sex dungeon murder situation is like this perversity that, uncool, but 80s association with being gay or, you know, like fucking leather clubs and shit was like such a big thing in the media at the time. It's like that Friedkin movie, Cruising. You ever see that one? Al Pacino investigating like leather daddy clubs in New York. Super sweaty and intense, but there's like a gay killer on the loose.
Yeah.
And it's a cool flick too. It's subversive, but it's like
a gay killer.
But it is a very very sweaty, very
We better
gay,
not look into any of that.
right? And it's like that kind of goes hand in hand with Videodrome because it's like because obviously Pacino's character kind of gets into the kinky thing there, but he's weird about it and it's very uncomfortable.
The only way I'll find him
is if you tie me up and you fuck me in the ass.
Fuck me in the ass.
Come on, daddy. So like, yeah, Videodrome, like the
Spank me harder.
The desire to find this sort of perverse life will lead to this degradation. And there's like your commentary on AIDS, which is fucked, but that's like where societal fears and shit mores were. Then you had John Carpenter's The Thing. In 82, it was like initially dismissed, but now it reads as this like perfect allegory for like viral paranoia. You know, just being afraid of everything around you. It was the same thing Carpenter was saying with Halloween. It was like, it could be anyone, it could be anything, and you can't know what's inside a person.
Yep.
Unless you cut them open.
And sometimes it changes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And then fucking people will change at the drop of a hat. You have no idea what you're doing. The fear is inescapable. The killer is unfindable. Fucking
It
Freddy
exists.
Krueger.
What do you do?
Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, like, what, you're going to not sleep? You can't get away from this fucking guy.
Yeah.
There's no escape. And he's not human, is all inescapable.
Right.
Like, it becomes this crushing psychological fear of the moment that I think pervades to this day. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, 1990s, post-Cold War psychology, right? With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, traditional geopolitical fears faded and were replaced by introspective, like self-aware and media-sensitive fears. Right, so you had the Silence of the Lambs, 91. Redefined horror through criminology and psychology.
Yeah.
And now, like, the realm of criminal psychology is, like, that's where shit gets hot. Because you're looking at all these serial killers and the real-world situations.
That's where I also think, and maybe not necessarily there, but somewhere around this, like, 80s to 90s is where we also had the deviation from, like, straight horror flicks to, like,
thrillers.
Psychological thrillers.
You get fucking... David Fincher's Seven. It comes out in 1995, which I think is one of the best examples of that split. It is a fantastic movie because that is a horror movie and it's a psychological thriller and it's a crime movie and a detective story.
I feel like most psychological thrillers at their core are horror movies. I mean, they are.
For the most part, but that's where you look at these different genres because, you know, there's body horror and there's the slasher film and all this, but like when you're delving into the worlds of like, activist horror versus commentary horror versus schlocky gore bullshit or torture porn as a reaction to fucking Abu Ghraib and shit.
You skipped past Peter Jackson's Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. Oh, fuck. I did. That is a personal favorite. Also held the record for the most gore in a movie for like 35 years.
The lawnmower scene.
The lawnmower scene.
I'll never forget the lawnmower scene.
Fantastic.
I never want to forget. I hope when I get Alzheimer's, it's the last fuck, because it's going to happen. But I hope that's the last thing I remember.
My favorite quote from that movie is
Grandpa, I'm here. What? There's a lawnmower scene mowing down zombies in his living room.
I think the best.
Oh, Grandpa!
They're just gonna have one like with a disconnected rope. I'll be pulling it in my hospital bed. Just
there's the scene where like the priest fights zombies.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I kick ass for the Lord," and that's.
It was like
so
comedy.
tough.
It was comedy horror.
Yeah, I had a DVD.
100%.
I had a bootleg DVD of fucking Dead Alive from New Zealand.
That's great.
In like the early 2000s.
That's great.
So yeah, like you had Silence of the Lambs got Hannibal Lecter, who's like civilized and cultured and institutional, right? And then David Fincher's Seven. That killer is smart.
Yes,
he's clever. He's got a plan. You're not. This is like a fear of. How to say it's no longer the fear of you or someone you don't know.
Really smart, organized people who are
it's
fucking
like the fear of
psychopaths.
Precision.
It's just
like
I think the fear is
because you always want to think these people are idiots and these people just
yeah.
lose their shit.
Exactly.
They're not like planning it.
Yeah, no.
It's
the fear of someone who's smart and organized and psychologically unhinged.
I think in general, it's the fear of someone who's smarter than you.
Yeah.
Like, because how do you combat? I mean, if it's just Leatherface with a chainsaw, I think, he's strong, but I got a couple of moves.
Yeah,
I might be able to get around a little something there. It's just a chainsaw. If you hit it with a rock, it's probably gonna get the chain will fall off.
Especially the early 2000s one, man. He's slow as shit.
Right.
Get
the
that's
chain
why they had
off
to
of
start
there.
making zombies run.
I think by the
literally, like,
I think by the 2000s, Leatherface just started going, you know what? I can catch him.
I'll get there.
I'm not gonna break a sweat. Trust me, he's not gonna win.
Yeah, so like that fear of
when I was young, I used to run real fast. But
you should have seen these legs 20 years ago.
But that fear of like the smart killer is like it's a real problem because
100%.
I mean those movies still exist today. Saw is.
I was about to say, why do you think Saw has
series.
been so period?
And
so
like those torture porn movies come out of the early 2000s as reactions to find like torture in fucking Abu Ghraib and fucking what's that Guantanamo Bay. Right. So like these like torture comes to the forefront. It becomes political again. But then it's like, well, what if you were getting tortured? What if you're getting tortured by somebody completely unstoppable and way smarter and more powerful than you?
And someone who would let you go, quote unquote, if you just did these fucking crazy.
All you got to do is turn in your friends and family.
Yeah.
So then in 1996, you had Scream. There's a personal favorite that I watched just recently, and that deconstructed the genre of horror's own mechanics, right? And that is another, that's like a subversion of the smarter than you killer, because you think they are, but they keep doing a bunch of dumb shit, right? And like there's the scene where Rose McGowan is in the garage. You've never seen it, Patrick.
It's fine. It's
whoa,
fucking
you.
30 years old.
Great flick, though. But this scene where Rose McGowan's just fucking pelting the killer with beer bottles, and the killer's like, oh, fuck, and like falls down, and then essentially she can't crawl out to save herself because her tits are too big. Well, it's like this ridiculous subversion.
I think it's like that bringing back like what we now call like campy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the bring back of that it was those people watching those 70s horror films and being like,
why don't you just fucking hit him?
Like, it's just funny. Like, let's bring it back. People will love it.
Yeah, and I love that scene specifically because she's kicking the shit out of the killer.
beating his ass.
Like beating his ass. And then it's like, oh, I have to do something dumb and girly to try and escape.
Yes.
And gets caught in a fucking garage door.
Right.
It's like the dumbest shit. But that movie is also really scary too because they're examining motives, and like the killers in that movie don't know their own motive.
Right.
And then when it's explained to them by Randy, the store clerk, this is a great scene between Matthew Lillard and fucking Jamie Kennedy, where Jamie Kennedy's like, you don't even need a motive anymore. It's New Millennium. And you can see Matthew Lillard, who's still not, you still haven't found out he's the killer yet, or one of them. But you can see on his face, he's like, I guess I don't have a motive. Fuck. Yeah. What am I doing? Do I want to fuck this other guy or something? So he's like, am I gay? Is that my motive?
Yeah. If only.
I think that is because
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard's performance in the movie is fucking fantastic.
Right.
And he is absolutely playing like closeted gay high school kid, which is fun.
Just fucking kiss.
Just kiss. You don't have to
Jesus
kill a
Christ.
bunch of people.
You can literally just kiss.
You don't have to kill a bunch of people. Just suck his dick.
Yeah,
Jesus.
just fucking put it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, because in the 90s, the 1990s monster was more like epistemological, to borrow a phrase from Brian Velez. It's like it's a question of what happens when horror becomes aware of itself. And I think the ultimate version of that is 1998's Japanese horror Ringu, which is like
Ringu.
You ever see Ringu?
Not the original. I saw The Ring.
The Ring is a great fucking adaptation. A fucking cool movie.
Like, they did good.
Yeah, I would tell you that The Ring was one of the first, like the American version of Ringu was one of the first movies I ever saw by myself. One of the first scary movies I ever saw by myself in a theater, and it was long after it had come out, and I walked into a dollar movie theater in Detroit.
Hell yeah!
And the place was packed, and it was a black audience.
Yep.
And I was the only white person there, and I sat like pretty close to the front. And as soon as the fucking video comes up, it was just all across the board. Everyone in the theater was like, "No, don't do it! Don't you do it! No, don't play it! Don't answer the phone!"
Yeah.
It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in a movie theater.
Awesome.
But Ringu is fucking amazing because it flips all this shit on its head too. Because much like the Peeping Tom, like you're watching this, you're the monster. It's actually saying, no, it's not you. It's the movie.
It's coming.
The
for
thing
you.
you're watching
Right.
is the monster, and now you're in it.
Right.
You know, and that was like this great subversion because, like, if you watch that movie and then your fucking phone rang, you'd be like, "Oh, God, fuck.
Yeah.
This little bitch is coming for me. Oh my God!" Then also, it was an unconquerable evil. Like at the end of the movie, you find out, like, no, you're idiot. You can't stop.
Yeah.
Well, and
You're just
that was
fucked.
what year? That this
Is
happened?
98 when it came out in Japan.
So like cell phones are like just now getting like more popular
Yeah.
and like more accessible.
yeah, but it's a
So, like, the
VHS movie.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right,
like the what you were just saying with the phone ringing and like that's like a new thing that you can just be anywhere and your phone is ringing.
I remember after watching The Ring, like when the next time the phone rang, I was like,
Jesus. Yeah, fuck.
because I technically did watch it.
Mom, can you answer this?
I will say that there's bits in like the movie in the Ring that are like fucked, like with a fucking finger going down on the nail and the nail lifting.
Yeah.
That's the shit I live for.
Yeah, when Naomi Watts in Ring, I think they do it in Ringu too, reaches onto the TV and pulls the fly off of it.
Yes.
And the horse. Okay. And that brings us into the 2000s.
Okay.
I really only want to go up till about now. You
Okay.
know, 2000, 2001, because post 9/11, obviously the whole world is fucking different.
Sure.
But we could do another segment on the horror genre post 9/11, and that's a whole fucking. I could do 2 hours on that.
There will
shit.
be more Halloweens in the
Yes,
future.
there's plenty of that. So,
Fingers crossed.
I think there will be more.
Fingers crossed.
yeah, and there's
baby.
obviously this is of course all just contextual stuff, and there's an endless barrage of information on all of this, and thousands upon thousands of movies that I didn't even touch on.
And I'm tragically an idiot and just here. So
You've been very
You and me
insightful.
both, bud. You and me both.
But anyway, yeah, that brings us to the end of our episode.
Cool.
I think that'll do it.
I thought
Jade,
you had some 2000s ones, but okay.
I mean, I can keep going. We can go for another 45 minutes.
No, we probably shouldn't do that. This is already going to be a long episode.
Hey, let's try. Okay. The attacks of September 11, 2001 altered cinematic language.
No,
Images,
we just agreed we weren't going to do this. Do you
the
want to
Blair
go?
Witch Project in 1999 prefigured the trend of turning minimalist and documentary style horror into the modern.
Never
And
watched it.
It's not great. Honestly, Blair Witch, not a great movie.
but like a revolutionary as far as like found
Complete
footage.
filmography-
Found
filmography
footage.
wise.
It was like
more than that, they also were the first like horror movie to have a website. It was like
Yeah,
website based
that's right.
shit,
Yeah.
and they made it.
Because there were people who thought that it was like a real thing.
That was the propagandic move of
Yeah.
it. Like the website was all police evidentiary files.
Yeah.
And like the trailers were like, these people were never found. And like, and it was just like, this is found footage. They-
Right.
got him.
And it's the exact same technique that Dario did with a movie called Cannibal Holocaust in Italy in the 70s.
Oh, Cannibal Holocaust.
Where people
rips.
thought it was it is a fucked movie, but
It's a wild
that's a
one.
movie that has actual violence. Like they like cut like a turtle's head and they
Yeah,
kill
they
like
got a lot of
they
shit
kill
for
some
that.
animals on it. And it's really fucked
The
up.
turtle was most people were mad
Yeah, yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, I think they like a dog too, right? Like,
Yeah, but for
there's
some reason everyone was
there's-
angry about the turtle.
There's some real fucked up stuff in that movie. but it's played as a found footage movie.
I mean, if you listen to our second movie set mishaps and listen to the segment about Peter Jackson's The Hobbit,
fuck.
yeah.
God, fuck those movies. But yeah, so like
a lot of animals,
Daddario,
a lot of dead animals.
Daddario had his entire cast hide out for months after the movie was released, so that nobody could contact him, so that the suspicion that they were all actually been killed and this was a snuff film like reached like fever pitch, and it was a massively successful move. Blair Witch did the exact same thing. They literally had the actors hide for weeks, and
crazy.
They released all these police files and interviews and analyses. There was even like a TV show that was like the real Blair Witch. Like, where's the evidence?
Yeah.
You know, and like it changed the entire world of cinema, because people were like, are you saying that our movies exist in the world too?
It was like a whole new level of marketing.
Like you're not
like,
just watching the movie, you're living an experience with the movie now.
Yeah.
And that really came to a fever pitch with like DVDs and shit like that, because
Well, I mean, think about how many think about how not great that movie was, because like I said, I've never seen it, but I've heard that it wasn't a great movie. Think about how not great that movie was, but how like
unbelievably successful it was on
not only that, everybody fucking knows, like
it's revolutionary.
It has like burrowed itself into the zeitgeist, so it's kind of like they did something right.
It will be there forever.
Yeah,
like, exactly.
Sure.
And it changed. I mean, how many found footage fucking horror movies are there now?
I don't know,
because they're cheap.
Plenty, and like
they're cheap,
a shit ton
easy
of them
to produce.
Suck. Like,
there's a lot. They're like all bad.
Most modern horror movies suck.
Yeah. But that's right at the cusp of that technology where everyone has a camera now.
Right.
You know, and there are like a couple of cool like modernish movies based around like pandemic stuff where people are using like Zoom calls. Mm-hmm. There's one particular, I think it's Host. That's
is that the one that's like fully webcam?
Yeah, it's all just it's all just over
surprisingly
Zoom.
Like decent,
surprisingly good, right?
Like I was very surprised. I remember watching it during COVID.
But here's the thing: the only reason that's good is because that's how we live.
It was
our lives
relatable.
Now. Yeah,
like
we know what a Zoom.
I was like,
oh,
I was there.
Yeah,
like
right. So yeah, now we live in a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, anyway, yeah, that's my episode. Jay, do you have anything you want to plug before we wrap up?
I honestly really don't. I'm just like super stoked to be here, and this was a fucking blast.
You can come back in the future.
Jade, by the way, is one of our technical consultants. He's also a videographer and singer.
I do my best.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, if you like this episode, please get on whatever you're listening to. Give us 5 stars. Leave us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment on the episode if you're on Spotify. Check out our YouTube. Check out our Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast. If you want to send us a personal message, if you have a topic that you want us to cover or whatever, deleteeverythingpodcast@gmail.com. And lastly, come see us on Patreon, man. Yeah. You're going to have a fun time with that. You get like 50 episodes backlog, plus we put a new one out every week. And
it's been getting really fun, actually. Yeah.
They're super fun.
Yeah.
They're super. We should probably release one as a bonus soon.
Yeah.
Just throw a bonus Patreon up on our main.
Boners. We call them boners episodes.
Boners episode.
Yeah. I mean, I've got an entire breakdown of the slasher genre right here. We could record it now if you want.
I don't.
Maybe we'll do it later.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Say bye.
Oh, bye.
Bring Quaaludes back. Dump the dog out. Dumping dog out. Dumping dog out. I think they hyped up the dog.